prophets and rulers, judging the earth. But now we stuck at the bottom of the totem pole. Where did we go wrong as a people? I think our people need to understand this with a wake-up call and give them understanding on what's going on. So bring it.
Early morning, rise up, open your eyes up, looking in the mirror, it gets no clearer. Cause we don't understand our own selves, drowning in sorrow with empty Hennessy bottles upon the shelf. Cause everybody wanna be a king, selling out their soul for this mean green cream thing. Paper chasing, but not facing the facts that as a nation, we all done got lax and letting the devil control us. And thinking like them damn Africans that sold us. We in captivity because they hold us. Work is hard with heavy burdens on our shoulders. Man, I thought we were some soldiers, but
Shalom, brothers and sisters.
Shalom.
Shalom to everybody online. Welcome to another live class with ISB HBK. We're located at 8524 South Braeswood Boulevard, Houston, Texas, 77071. Our class times are Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Monday and Wednesday from 7 to 10 p.m. Friday from 6 to 9 p.m. Saturday morning Sabbath class from 10 to 2 p.m. And we have our kids class on Sundays from 11 to 12. All right, we're also going to be doing live class out in Trinidad. Yes, Trinidad and Tobago. We will be broadcasting live every Tuesday, every Thursday, every Friday, and every Saturday. So you'll be getting class live here from us in Trinidad and here in Houston, okay? If you're in San Antonio, we have a school at 4219 Centergate Street, San Antonio, Texas, 78217, and they do class Monday through Friday, 7 to 10 p.m. Also, we have a school at in Albuquerque, New Mexico at 501 Copper Ave Northwest, Albuquerque, New Mexico, 87102. As well as the class, we have, you can catch the San Antonio and Albuquerque school. You'll catch those brothers on blogtalkradio.com/Mashaba. Okay, they do what do you call it? A podcast or a pod show, a radio show. They do it live, and then you can download it via podcasts and things like that. Okay, so and they do that Monday through Friday, starting at 9:30. All right, so that's blogtalkradio.com/MASHAHBA. Okay. Also, we'll be having classes starting in Austin, Texas, and those times are we'll announce those times once we get that up and running. But we do got some things going on in Austin. All right. If you have any questions, you can contact Priest Kazakia at 281-707-2737. You can contact me at 303-557-8979. You can contact Priest Fahawam at 832-941-2443. Fahawam is still in Trinidad, so if you're hitting him up and you're not getting a response, he's probably just not on that number. But you can hit me, you can hit up Kazakia, and we'll whatever questions you have, we'll get those answered. Also, you can contact us for any questions or concerns at isbhbk@gmail.com. Okay? Also, brothers, we do have some brothers out in Arizona. All right, they're at the Arizona State Fair. That ends this Sunday on the 29th. All right, so we got 3 brothers that are out there working the fair. We got a business, all right, to help support the school. All right, we also do our Penny Wars contest. That helps to bring in money for the Passover and just help to support the school with whatever we need to get taken care of. Okay. For our live classes, you can check us out here at ISB HBK on YouTube. We also have our ISB HBK cable show, which is on every Saturday at 8:30 on Comcast Local Channel 17. And you can stream that live from anywhere from hmstv.org. Okay? And then what we do, we record those classes, and then we post them on the YouTube anyway with just different edits. We add the scriptures in, things like that. All right, so you can get those either way. Okay. Did that class. If you want a custom-made garment or any type of garment, just go on Facebook. You can hit them up, hit the sisters up on Facebook under Israel Wear. You just search that, it'll come up, it'll show you all the things that they've made. Whatever you need, armbands, headbands, shirts, pants. They do custom garments. They do the Passover garments every year, and they also do unity garments year round. Okay, so get with them on Facebook under Israel Wear, and get whatever details you need for a garment, and they'll let you know what you got to do. They're also collecting the garment money for Passover. They're collecting that every month. All right, so get with them, and they'll get you hooked up with a garment. They do good work, man. It's quality work. So they've been doing garments for, some of these sisters been doing garments for like 15 years. So whatever you need, they got you. For your donations, any form of contribution is welcome and needed. We're trying to get a camera. We're trying to get a camera to broadcast live down to Trinidad. If anybody wants to help with that. If anybody wants to help with a camera, what is it, a webcam? Like the little webcam you mount to the top of a computer. If anybody wants to help out with that, we're trying to get a camera down to Trinidad, or try to get the money up for a camera to get something down to Trinidad so they can broadcast everything live, okay? So right now that's what we're working on. Obviously we still need books, pens, papers. We need a vehicle for Trinidad so brothers can get around and handle whatever business they gotta handle. So whatever you can donate is much appreciated. And those that have helped out and donated, we definitely appreciate it. We thank you. Keep helping out. It's for your people. It's for your nation. All right. We ain't gonna ask you for the. We ain't gonna ask you for like the $4 billion jet so we can fly back and forth to Trinidad. I wish we had that. It'd be easier. But we ain't gonna ask y'all for that. We just asking if y'all can help out. We ain't gonna do the Creflo Dollar thing where he's like, I need a $4 billion jet to teach the ministry. All right. If you want to give any monetary donations, we got a Wells Fargo account, and that number is 101-580-6167. Also, we have the Google Wallet under isbhbk@gmail, so you can send money that way. If it's easier, it's the electronic age, so we're trying to just make it convenient and do it like that. All right, so that's going to be it for the announcements. Go ahead and send y'all's questions if y'all got it. And then we're going to get into this class. So, let's see, ABC, Son of God, Shalom, Most High in Christ bless, happy Sabbath, Shalom to you. Ask my question right off the bat, can you debunk the Jesus is God doctrine, please? For example, John 1. Okay, so he's saying basically, can we debunk the Jesus is God doctrine? Yeah, St. John 1:1. I'll be right here. Yeah, St. John 1:1. Let's see here. And why is he called Omega, the Alpha in Revelation? How come Jesus has a title put on him pertaining to the Most High in Christ? Well, give me St. John 1:1, and then we're going to go to Revelation. This is one of my favorite scriptures. But give me St. John 1, chapter 1, verse 1. See, you got to remember one thing, is that when you read this St. John 1:1, let's just read it. Let's just read it and we'll get a better understanding.
St. John, chapter 1 and verse 1.
Right?
In the beginning was the Word.
Right. So, who is the Word?
Yahushua.
Yahushua, right? Damn. Is it cold or am I tripping? Is it cold in here? I just got cold. Okay, so maybe that's the spirit. So the Word is Yahushua. We know that when we jump down, right? Jump down to St. John. Where's it at? It's in that same one. I think it's like 1:14 where it says the Word was made flesh.
Right, and number 7.
Is it 7? Verse 7?
No, not where it say flesh. That was when it came to witness.
No, yeah, St. John 1:14. Read that real quick. So it says, in the beginning was the Word. So read St. John 1:14 real quick.
St. John chapter 1 and verse 14.
Go ahead.
And the Word was made flesh.
And the Word, see that? So we know that the Word was made flesh. It was speaking of Christ. Right? So jump back up to St. John 1:1.
St. John chapter 1 and verse 1.
Go ahead.
In the beginning was the Word.
Right? So in the beginning was the Word. Read.
And the Word was with God.
Okay, so check this out. So it says, in the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God. Right? Oh, this is what I wanted to go to. Because we got to understand, man, that when these words, God, Lord, right, when they translate, they kind of put like a loose translation. Not saying it was wrong, but they put a loose translation there, right? So that's why a lot of people get mixed up when you go into the Old Testament and it said that that God appeared to Moses, right? But then we know that it wasn't God himself. Because if you read up, it'll say the angel of the Lord appeared to Moses, right? And then it'll say, and God said. So we got to look these words up. So I'm on my phone. I'm just on the My Sword. It has the concordance. So you're able to look up, it has the Strong's concordance, so you're able to look up words. So in the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God. Bam. So the word God, right? In this sense, God, right, is theos. Theos is the translation, right? Now it says, I'll jump to the main definition. It says God the Father, right? It says God the Father. Now watch this. There's a reason why I went here. So theos, it says God the Father. I want to show y'all something. Go to Genesis chapter 1, verse 1. Go to Genesis chapter 1, verse 1. And I'm going to show you that the word God has different, like I said, it's a loose translation. Go to Genesis chapter 1, verse 1. Read that.
Genesis chapter 1 and verse 1.
Uh-huh.
In the beginning, God created the heaven and the earth.
Right. So it says in the beginning, God, right? God created the heaven and earth. But see, I'm back in the Strong's. I'm just on my phone, My Sword, looking up the Strong's definition. The definition of this word God, the translation is Elohim. Elohim. That's the Phoenician. If you go into the ancient Hebrew, that's Elohim. Okay? Now, the definition of this, see, it's a whole different definition. For one, it's plural, so it means more than one. Grandma just tried to do around. What? Wow. So it's plural. It means rulers, judges, divine ones, angels. So, just showing you that the word God, people look at it like, oh, every time it says God, it's talking about the Most High. No. Every time it says God, it's not talking about the Most High God. Okay, just to show you the parallel between, or the difference between Genesis 1 and 1 and St. John 1 and 1. We got to understand this word God in its context and what this God is and what this God is. Okay? So, gods. Oh, check this out. Goddesses. Right? God like one. Works or special possessions of God. So think about it. We know that when you go into Colossians, it says Christ created the earth, right? For himself.
God.
So we know when you look at the definition, it's like, oh, okay, wow. Christ created the earth. Okay, so special possessions of God, the angels, right? So we just getting it in context. You see that?
God.
So let's see here. Boom. Apply difference, man. Right. It also means powers, right? When you say God, Elohim, powers. Right? So let's go back to St. John chapter 1, verse 1. And read it from the top for me, please. St. John chapter 1, verse 1.
St. John chapter 1 and verse 1. In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God.
Right, so in the beginning was Christ, and we know from this definition the Word was with the Most High, right? As we defined it, right? It said God the head, right? So the Word was with the Most High. Read.
And the Word was God.
And the Word was what?
Was God.
Right, the Word was power. You see that? It wasn't saying that the Word was God the Most High himself. No. Right? So that's how you would read. Like if we were in the ancient Hebrew reading that, you would be like, oh, okay. In the beginning was Christ. He was with the Most High, and Christ had the power. The Word had power. Because what was the Word? The Word was, let there be light. And what happened? It was done. You see, so when you look at that scripture, that's why I went to Genesis also, just to show you. Watch this. Go to, so we found out that the word God in Genesis 1 and 1 was dealing with powers, angels, right? Right, watch this. Go to Colossians. Right? Just to show you. So we know that in the beginning was Christ. He was with the Most High. And the Word was power. This is how we prove the Word was the power. Because, go to Colossians. Where we at? Hopefully you with me. Are they saying anything online? That same person is, I think it's like son of something.
Khan, ABC, son of God.
Yeah, is he saying anything?
No, he just asked another question, but he hasn't said anything.
Is the question pertaining to this?
La.
All right, let me answer this, and I'm gonna get to the other one. Where's that? Go to Colossians chapter 1, verse 15.
Colossians chapter 1 and verse 15.
Go ahead.
Who is the image of the invisible God?
Right, so think about it. This is another scripture to show you that Christ and God ain't the same. It said he's the image of the invisible God. So how can he be seen and invisible at the same time? It wouldn't make sense, right? What's up, Anaya? It wouldn't make sense, right? Right, so he said, read on.
The firstborn of every creature.
Right, so the firstborn of every creature is speaking about Christ, Yahweh Shai. Right, read on.
For by him were all things created.
See, when it said in St. John, the Word was power, this is what it's talking about. The Most High said, let there be light. Read verse 16 again.
For by him were all things created.
Y'all see that? The Most High said, let there be light, and Christ did it. That's what it's talking about. The Word was God, or the Word was power. You see that? The Word was powers. Read on.
That are in heaven.
Right.
And that are in earth.
Read.
Visible and invisible.
So read on.
Whether they be thrones, or dominions, or principalities, or powers. All things were created by him and for him.
Right. All things were created by Christ, for him and by him. The Most High just gave the order. Right? So we know that in the beginning was Christ, the Most High. Right? The Most High gave the word, and Christ did it. So when you look at that St. John chapter 1, verse 1, that's how you got to look at it. The first thing you got to understand is who created everything. Who gave the order? Most High gave the order. Christ created everything. Then the powers also with Christ created everything. You see that? It's like the Most High is, I always say it, the Most High is the CEO. Christ is the manager. The angels were the employees. And they did the work. Right? The Most High didn't come down and just do the work. No, he created Christ, who created everything through the angels and powers. You revert, go to Hebrews 1. Go to Hebrews 1. I mean, there's a lot of scriptures to show. Where you at? Go to Hebrews 1 and verse. Go to Hebrews 1 and 1.
All right. Hebrews chapter 1 and verse 1.
Go ahead.
God, who at sundry times and in diverse manners spake in times past unto the fathers by the prophets.
Right. So this is telling you that in the past, the Most High spoke to our forefathers through the prophets. Moses, Ezekiel, Jeremiah, Joshua, right? He spoke to them through the prophets, right? Read on.
Hath in these last days spoken unto us by his Son.
By himself?
By his Son.
He came down and just spoke to us?
By his Son.
See, this is another scripture showing you that he speaks to us by his Son. Showing you that there's a difference here. It says his Son, right? When it's his, that's a possessive pronoun. It denotes ownership. So that's his Son. Not himself, but his Son. Read on.
Whom he had appointed heir of all things.
Right. Christ is the heir of all things. Go ahead.
By whom also he made the world.
Right. By whom he Christ to create the worlds. Plural, right? Read verse 3.
Who being the brightness of his glory.
So he is showing that Christ is the brightness of the Most High's glory. Read.
And the express image of his person.
Because Christ said, if you see, when the apostles said, listen, show us God. Christ was basically saying, if you've seen me, you've seen the Father. Why? Because he looked like his daddy. Right? He looked like his daddy. Read on.
And upholding all things by the word of his power.
Read.
When he had by himself purged our sins.
Check this out. Read on.
Sat down on the right hand of the majesty on high.
He sat down on the right hand of himself?
On the majesty of the majesty on high.
Right. There's no way he could sit down at the right hand of himself. The majesty on high was the Most High. So there was no way for him to sit on the majesty of himself. You see that? Go to Hebrews 11 and let me see if I want that one. I might not want that. But you see, I'm showing you two things here. I'm showing you that God and Christ ain't the same and who created the world. Right? Oh, yeah, we can read Hebrews 11 and verse 3. Go ahead.
Hebrews chapter 11 and verse 3.
Right.
Through faith, we understand that the worlds were framed by the word of God.
Right. So think about it. Who was the word of God?
Yahweh.
We just read that in St. John 1 and 14. Christ, the word became flesh. So the world was framed by the word of God. The world was created by Christ. Go ahead.
So that things which were seen were not made of things which do appear.
You see that? So that's just a few. I got a few more. Hold on. Mediator. Right? So that's just a few, but I basically killed two birds in one stone with that. Go to 1 Timothy chapter 2 and verse 5. So the question online was, can we basically kill the Holy Trinity? We actually did a whole class on that. If you can find that, you can post that in the YouTube, but I'll go over a few scriptures for the person online. 1 Timothy chapter 2 and verse 5.
1 Timothy chapter 2 and verse 5.
Someone look up the word mediator. Go ahead and read that.
For there is one God, and one mediator between God and man.
Wait, so there's one Most High, right? And there's one mediator between the Most High and men down here on this earth. Read on.
The man, Christ.
The who?
The man, Christ.
God himself?
The man, Christ.
You see that? Christ is the mediator between us and the Most High. Now we're going to get the definition of mediator. What you got, Benaiah?
A person who attempts to make people involved in a conflict come to an agreement.
So a person involved that make people that are in a conflict come to an agreement. So to break it down, we as people were in conflict with the Most High because we broke his laws, right? So he didn't send himself, but he sent Christ to mediate between us as men and the Most High, to bring us back to the Most High. So think about it. Then you got to ask yourself this. If Christ and God were the same, why would he need to mediate between himself? He wouldn't have to. You see that? Man, there's a lot of scriptures. There's a lot of scriptures on this. Check this out. This is the one I want. Because this is where they get that madness though about the Holy Trinity. Hold on. Read this in. Go to 1 John. Go to 1 John chapter 5. We want 1 John 5. Because this is where they get the Holy Trinity from. They try to use this scripture in 1 John and say that, oh, there's a Holy Trinity, the God, Father, and the Spirit. We're going to start at verse 6. 1 John chapter 5 and verse 6. Read that for me.
1 John chapter 5 and verse 6.
Go ahead.
This is he that came by the water and blood, even Jesus Christ.
Right. So it's showing you that Christ came just like a man. He came with water and blood. Read on.
Not by water only, but by water and blood.
Right, because you can't have life without both. You got to have the water and the blood. Right? Read on.
And it is the Spirit that beareth witness.
Right, and then you got the Spirit that brings the life, right? The Spirit is what bears witness to the water and to the blood. And what do all three of those things do? They agree in one. The water, the blood, and the Spirit. Showing you that this is what brings life to a human. Right? This is what brings life to a man. Read on.
Because the Spirit is truth.
You see that? The Word is truth. The Spirit. Read verse 7. So this is showing you, before you even go on, those were three things that has to bear witness on earth. I know I'm jumping, but those are three things that got to bear witness on earth for a man's life. Now we're going to see the three things that bear witness in heaven. Go ahead.
For there are three that bear record in heaven.
Right. Three things. Right? Go ahead.
The Father.
The who?
The Father.
The who?
The Father.
Okay, so that's one. Go ahead.
The Word.
Which is Christ. Go ahead.
And the Holy Ghost.
Right? Which is the Spirit. Y'all see that? So the Father, the Son, and the Spirit. Three things. Read.
And these three are one.
And they're what?
They are one.
Read on.
And there are three that bear witness in earth.
Now, go ahead.
The Spirit.
And
the water.
Right.
And the blood.
See how it jumped from the earth to the heaven back to the earth? Because it's showing you that one without the other, or one or two without one, it ain't gonna work. Right? So the reason why it says, and there are three that bear, in verse 8, and there are three that bear witness in earth. The Spirit, the water, the blood, these three are one. It's saying that they agree in one. They have the same thinking. Because does not the Most High give the order? Did not Christ follow it? And did not the word back it up? Right? The Most High set it up, sent Christ, and then Christ just followed the word. But what was he doing? He was following the Most High. He became the word. Because they all agreed in one. I've come not to do my own will, but the will of him who sent me. He didn't say I came to do my will of the will of myself, or the will of me that I sent myself. The will of he who sent me. Read verse 9.
If we receive the witness of men, the witness of God is greater.
Go ahead.
For this is the witness of God, which he had testified of his son.
Right. So we got to understand that this Father, Son, and the Spirit, it wasn't saying that they were the same exact thing. It was just saying they were in agreement. Can two walk together? At least they'd be in agreement. We know that everything Christ did, we can confirm it through the Word. And even before that, we can confirm that that was the Most High's will. So all he did was the will of the Most High through the Word. Y'all get that? Check this out. Hold on. What was their other question?
Why is the Most High called Alpha and Omega?
Oh, okay. Yeah. I'm going to get to that also. There was one more thing. Hold on. Where's it at? Like I said, I did a whole class on this, but I had this little funny... I had this little... Like, it's a bunch of different things that you... It's like rhetorical questions about... Where's it at? Oh, here it is. Yeah, the name of that class is called the Trinity Crushed. I don't know if you found it. You can throw that in the thing. I'm going to show you something. Right? For one, we got to understand one thing. That the Trinity, that's Christian doctrine. That wasn't Hebrew doctrine. That was Christian doctrine. That was Roman Catholics. They came up with that. Espiritu Sancte, Spiritu, right? Y'all know what it is, my Hispanics. What is it? Espiritu Nombre Padre, Espiritu Sancte, right? The name of the Father, the Son. So that's Christian doctrine, man. That's one. Check this out. You got like there's certain where's it at? It says to believe the doctrine when reading the scripture, we must believe that God sent himself into the world, died to reconcile the world to himself, raised himself from the dead, ascended to himself in heaven, pleads before himself in heaven to reconcile the world to himself. And he is the only mediator between man and himself. We must believe also that in the garden, God prayed to himself, if it were possible, to let the cup pass from himself. And 1,000 other. So think about it. When he said, Father, when Christ was getting ready to go on the cross, or when he was on the cross, and he said, if it be thy will, let this cup pass from me. I mean, who was he talking to? Himself? He could have just said, well, I don't want to die. I'm out of here, right? And we know that Christ had that power to not be up there. But so think about it. It says he is the invisible God, but was seen, is the omnipotent God, but was strengthened by angels. Think about it. If God and Christ were the same, why did he have to be ministered to by the angels? He could have just strengthened himself. Right? Is as great as his Father, but his Father is greater than he. Because Christ said that there's no man good but the Father. Right? It's equal with the Father, and yet he is the Father. It makes no sense. Is the Son but the same age as the Father? It doesn't make no sense. He's the let's see. Prayed to himself, gave power to himself, thanked himself, bore witness of himself, went back to himself. Like I said earlier, he sits on the right hand of himself. It just don't make sense. There's too many scriptures to kill that. Let's see here. I got a few scriptures in here. But I mean, you get the point on that. She'll post the class and you can check it out. As far as, when you said why did he call himself Alpha and Omega? Right? See, I like to look up words, man. I'm a word looker upper. Right? Let's go there. Go to Revelation real quick. Where was that at? That's where you said I am Alpha and Omega. That's in
He was asking specifically in Revelation.
Yeah. Yeah, we can go to Revelation 1 and 11 real quick. Right? Revelation chapter 1. So, go ahead, read that.
Revelation chapter 1 and verse 11.
Right, read.
Saying, I am Alpha and Omega.
All right, so Christ did say, I am Alpha. But Alpha is just the first letter of the Greek alphabet, meaning he's the first begotten, right? Read on. And Omega, that's the last letter of the Greek alphabet. So he was the first and the last. Remember, we read in Colossians, it said all things were created for him and by him. Right? Doesn't it go on to say that all things, let's see here. I thought it said, let's go back to Colossians real quick. We did miss a verse. So just to show you why he said I am the beginning, he basically said I'm the beginning and the end. Because think about it. Christ created the earth, but who's going to come to destroy it? He said, I shall descend from the heavens with a shout. Right? Of the archangel, it's going to be Christ. He's the one that created it. For all things were created for him and by him. Read Colossians chapter 1, verse 16.
Colossians chapter 1 and verse 16. For by him were all things created, that are in heaven and that are in earth, visible and invisible.
Right.
Whether they be thrones or dominions or principalities.
Go ahead.
Or powers. All things were created by him and for him.
Yeah, so all things were created by Christ. He was the first begotten. He was the first creature of the Most High. And then he created everything. Read verse 17.
God. And he is before all things. And by him, all things consist.
Right. And through him, through Christ, all things keep going. Through him. But then guess what? He's going to end all things also. We know that. We wait, because who we waiting to come?
Yeah, sir.
Waiting for Christ to come. So we know that by him, all things are going to end. So I am the beginning, I am the end. So he wasn't trying to take precedence over the Most High. The one thing you got to remember about the Most High is that you can't label the Most High. He's omnipotent. You can't put a title on God. You got to remember that. So, Christ had many names: Alpha, Omega, the Man of Sorrows, the Son of Man, the Only Begotten, the Lamb. Christ had a lot of names. So got to remember that. Why is there not a? This is Travis. I'm going to say Travis. It says, why is there not a tribe named after Joseph if he was one of the sons in Genesis 48? The tribes are instead named after his two sons, Ephraim and Manasseh. Video stop. Dan, did the video stop?
I think on his end.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you got Ephraim and Manasseh, who are Joseph's sons. Very good question. I've been in that Genesis real heavy lately. I don't remember it saying a reason why. I mean, I know when you read the story of Joseph, he was basically, the Most High set him up to do something different. The Most High set him up to go and basically run Egypt. Yeah, the Most High set him up to run Egypt. So I don't remember reading anything specific on anything saying like this is why, this is not why. I'd have to go back through it again. I'd have to go back through it and just like comb through it. But to my remembrance, there's nothing that said why that I can remember off the top of my head right now. But I'm gonna go back through it. I'll go back through it tonight, and I'll answer it tomorrow. I'm not remembering anything. But yeah, those two tribes did come through Joseph's loins. So even when you look at it, Jacob didn't give actual birth to all 12. He had Joseph, and then Joseph had his two sons. And you shall be called, oh my God. Wow. You put Isaiah 9 and 6. Let's see here. ABC, Son of God. Isaiah 9 and 6, you shall be called the mighty God. Let's see. Yeah. Oh, yeah. This is perfect. Read that real quick. Just showing you. And, you know, these, for those Old Testament Hebrews that say Christ ain't in the Bible. Go ahead and read that. Isaiah chapter 9 and verse, or Christ is not in the Old Testament. Go ahead and read Isaiah chapter 9 verse 6.
Isaiah chapter 9 and verse 6. For unto us a child is born.
Right?
Unto us a son is given, and the government shall be upon his shoulder.
Right, read on.
And his name shall be called Wonderful.
Read.
Counselor.
Uh-huh.
The Mighty God.
The what?
The Mighty God.
Right, so it wasn't saying that Christ was the Most High. It was just saying he was a mighty power. Go ahead.
The Everlasting Father.
Read.
The Prince of Peace.
You see that? And Christ was known as the Prince of Peace. Y'all see that? So there's another scripture to show Christ and God. That showed three things. The different names of Christ, Christ in the Old Testament, Christ and God ain't the same. All right? Anything else in here?
There was
No, go ahead.
the brother asked Jesus, how come Jesus has titles put on him pertaining to the Most High?
Yeah, he asked that way up, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I already answered that one. Yeah. Nothing else? All right, let's get into class. If y'all got questions that are off the topic, just hold them till tomorrow. We're gonna get into this La Clase. You can title this class, Where is Your Strength? Where is your strength? All right? Go to, let me get back there. Go to Proverbs. Go to Proverbs. And we're going to go to 31 and verse 3. Proverbs 31 and 3.
Proverbs chapter 31 and verse 3.
Mm-hmm.
Give not thy strength unto women.
Do what?
Give not thy strength unto women.
So, the Bible tells us, actually, go to Proverbs chapter 31 and 1. we got to see. I like to get a little context because it's good to know who's talking, right?
All right.
Go to Proverbs 31 and verse 1.
Proverbs chapter 31 and verse 1.
Go ahead.
The words of King Lemuel, the prophecy that his mother taught him.
Go ahead. So this was a woman, right? Teaching her son, right? So check out what she said. This is from a woman's perspective. Read that.
What, my son? And what, the son of my womb? And what, the son of my vows? Give not thy strength unto women. Think
about that. This is a woman telling another man, telling her son, don't give your strength unto a woman. What's a man's strength?
His mind.
His what?
His mind.
What you got? Were you going to say something?
I was going to say the Most High.
The Most High. Yep. Who else? That's right.
Abstinence.
You said abstinence?
Yeah, like abstaining.
Like, what do you mean though? When you say absent, when you say like, are you?
You know, like I'm gonna just talk about like when I was younger. You know, like women would be like talking to me, but I would be abstaining from them, not purposely, but it was like how you know when you be focused on something, you'll be really just paying attention to them.
Right. Yeah, so abstinence in the way of not feeding in.
Right.
Not feeding into them, right? Okay. Go to Proverbs. Hold where you at. Go to Proverbs 10 and verse 29. So we're trying to find out. The scriptures say for a man not to give his strength to a woman. So we got to find out, one, what is a man's strength? Where should his strength lie? Read that. Proverbs chapter 10 and verse 29.
Okay. Proverbs chapter 10 and verse 29.
Go ahead.
The way of the Most High.
The what?
Of the Most High.
His own ways.
The Most High.
Go ahead.
Is strength.
Go ahead.
To the upright.
Read on. Read on.
But destruction shall be to the workers of iniquity.
Right. So we're finding out that the way of the Most High is strength to the upright. So we know, like Benaiah said, it's the Most High, right? The ways of the Lord. Go to Proverbs 24 and verse 5. So we know that the ways of the Most High is supposed to be the strength of a man. Right? Go to Proverbs 24 and verse 5. So we're trying to figure out, when it says, give not thy strength to a woman, what the hell is it talking about? Because it's like, yeah, okay, I'm not going to give my strength to a woman. God. But what does that mean? Like, brothers used to pull the scripture all the time back in the day. It's like, what the hell? God, brother, I'm not going to give my strength to her. But it's like, what does that mean? Go to Proverbs 24 and verse 5.
Proverbs chapter 24 and verse 5. A wise man is strong.
A what?
Wise man is strong.
So read on.
Yeah. A man of knowledge increaseth strength.
Right. Okay, so we're getting it. The ways of the Most High are strength. Right? Wisdom. What is it? Wisdom and knowledge are strength. Right?
All right.
Let's go to Colossians 1 and 9. So we're trying to piece it together now. What is this strength? What is it that it's talking about? ABC, son of God. Yeah, you there. His mind, the laws of the Most High. Right? Go to Colossians chapter 1, verse 9.
Colossians chapter 1 and verse 9. For this cause we also, since the day we heard it, do not cease to pray for you.
Go ahead.
And to desire that ye might be filled with knowledge of his will in all wisdom.
Right. So the scriptures is telling us that the day, for this cause also, I'm sorry, I was reading something else. Since the day we heard it, do not cease to pray for you, and to desire that you may be filled with the knowledge of the Most High's will, with the wisdom and spiritual understanding of his will. Go ahead, verse 10.
First Colossians chapter 1 and verse 10.
Go ahead.
that ye might walk worthy of the Most High unto all pleasing.
Right, because in doing this, we want to be able to please the Most High. We want to be able to walk worthy of his name. Go ahead.
Being fruitful in every good work.
You see that? Because now when you're worthy, when you're found faithful, this is where the Most High makes you fruitful. Through using the wisdom, the knowledge, and the understanding. Go ahead.
And increasing in knowledge of Yah.
And you're supposed to increase in knowledge. You're not supposed to be the same that you were a year ago. Right? You're supposed to increase. Read on.
Strengthen.
Wait, weaken?
Strengthen.
Go ahead.
With all might.
Right. So we're seeing that the wisdom, the knowledge of the Spirit, and the understanding, along with being fruitful and increasing in knowledge, is a man's strength. Read on.
According to his glorious power.
Go ahead.
Unto all patience.
Go ahead.
And long suffering.
Uh-huh.
With joyfulness.
So we got patience, long suffering, and joy. So these are all these different things that you can consider a man's strength if they're all coupled together. Right? You gotta have them all. You gotta have the patience with the long suffering. That brings the joy, but you gotta use the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, right? So we're painting this little picture here. So we understand a man's strength. A man's strength, patience, wisdom, knowledge, understanding, long suffering, joy. So jump back to Proverbs 31 and verse 3.
Proverbs chapter 31 and verse 3. Give not thy strength unto women, nor thy ways to that which destroyed kings.
So it says, give not thy strength unto women. So think about it. How could a man give his wisdom, knowledge, and understanding? Why would it say for a man not to give his wisdom, knowledge, and understanding unto a woman? Who knows? Why not give patience, long suffering, joy unto a woman? Obadiah, what you think? Or better yet, how can a woman take this from a man? How does she take his wisdom, his knowledge, his understanding, his patience, his joy, his law? How does she do that? Go ahead, Abadiah.
So when a man has a wife,
right?
It's his job to teach her and to instill into her and to help her to change.
Right.
So he has to invest in her these qualities. And it has to be according to the scriptures.
Right.
So if he has all of these qualities according to the scriptures, then he's going to be filling her with this. If she's not taking this and using it the way she's supposed to, then she's just using him, and he's investing, but there's no return.
Khan, I get you. But let's read it again. We gotta read it again. Read Proverbs 31 and 3.
Give not thy strength unto women.
Right.
Nor thy ways to that which destroyed kings.
All right, so let's skip that question. We're going to come back to it. What are some of the ways that, when it said ways that destroy kings, what is it talking about? What's up?
Multiplying wives.
Yeah, that's one of them.
Well, strange wives.
That's one of them. Yeah, I mean, you got brothers that think that it's all about, let me get 50,000 ribs. But let's deal with one man and one woman. Let's deal with one man and one woman. What is it talking about here where it says, nor thy ways to that which destroy kings? What is it saying here?
Giving the women rule.
Right? Because that can destroy a king, right? Your woman is ruling over it. That destroys a king. Allison.
Not having the knowledge to run a kingdom.
Not having the knowledge to run the kingdom, right? Not having the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding to run your household. Abadiah.
Could it be that she wants to take more of the time that he should be devoting to running the kingdom
Keep going.
And then.
Thou speakest wisdom. Keep going.
And then, therefore, his focus becomes more about her than doing the job that the Most High has given him.
Because his strength is going where?
Towards her.
Right. See, read it again. Proverbs 31 and verse 3.
Proverbs chapter 31 and verse 3.
Uh-huh.
Give not thy strength unto women.
Right. See, when it was talking about give not your strength, it's that focus, right? It's your complete devotion. Because think about it, a king is supposed to do what? Rule, right? Is he supposed to just rule his house? He's supposed to rule the kingdom. But guess what? If he's busy because his wife is pulling, and every minute she got a problem. Every minute there's this going on. What happens? He starts to have to break his focus off of ruling, and now he got to always be about his house. Right? See, that's another way. So it's showing you two things, because this is a way that now this kingdom is destroyed. Because now you so worried about your household and your ribbons over here tripping, but guess what? Somebody's invading through the back door. You don't see it. You're not on your P's and Q's. Y'all get that? Go to, so that answers the question though. How does a woman take a man's strength? So let's answer it. How does a woman take a man's strength? Through
keeping him from the will of the Most High.
Right. Well, right. By dividing his mind. By always being wrapped up in chaos. Right? By always making the wrong decisions. Because if a man is the head of the woman, he's supposed to do what? Lead. He's supposed to lead, guide, protect. He's supposed to be that spiritual covering. So whatever problem is hitting her, what does he have to do? Oh, I gotta go counsel my rib. Gotta go counsel my rib. Gotta go counsel my rib, right? It's always about, let me go counsel the rib. When it's like, well, brothers need counsel too. But she's tripping so hard, she's into so many different things that now I gotta slice off this extra time to give it to her. I'm not saying that we're not supposed to take care of our ribs. What I'm saying is, where I'm going is, why is it that the ribs, and why is it that these women create so many problems that have to divide their husband's time? That's where I'm going. Go to, why is that? Who knows? Why is that? Does anybody know why that happens? Is it done purposely? What's up? What's up?
I think so in some ways. Not always, but to allow us to be tempted and to see how we do in that furnace.
Right? What were we going to say, Abadiah?
Well, I was going to say because the woman doesn't necessarily understand the position that she holds and the role that she plays in the household.
What's that position?
That position is a pillar of strength for her husband, but also a helpmeet. And she's there to keep the house in order and keep it controlled and you know.
So she's basically, the woman is what? She's basically, when you look at it, she dictates the tempo of the home. Right? She dictates, I mean, we said it before. Believe it or not, women, y'all dictate everything about your house. You dictate whether the spirit is off or whether the spirit is on. You dictate that by the way you answer questions, by the way you present things to your husband, by the way you reject things. You dictate the tempo of your household. You dictate the spirit. Because if your man ain't home, like brothers in this camp, they ain't never home. Right? But if I come home and ask 2-3 questions and your spirit is just off, then what's that's going to do?
Your spirit
off. Well, it's going to be, well, what's your problem? Right? It's going to go into that. Oh, what's your problem? Okay, let's get the Bible, right? It's going to turn into that, where it doesn't have to always turn into that. It can turn into, oh, you had a good day? Damn, I had a good day. Let's talk about it. Let's have fun. Let's do this. Let's do that. It don't always got to be, oh, damn, she's tripping. Get the Bible. Let's go to 1 Peter. Let's go here. Let's go here. Let's go here. It don't got it. Let's go to Proverbs. It ain't got to be that. Y'all dictate the tempo, right? So in Proverbs it says, "Nor the ways which destroyeth kings." What's one of the things that destroys a man? What's one of the things that brothers do that can destroy their household?
Terry long at the wine.
Say it again.
Terry long at the wine.
Yeah. That's over drinking, right? Over excessive in anything. What else? Go ahead.
Being a lion in his house.
Be a lion. You don't want to be a lion in your house, right? Because what are you showing? What are you doing? What are you putting out there?
An overbearing spirit.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
Wrath, I guess.
Go to Ecclesiastes 9. Go to Ecclesiastes chapter 9 and verse 1. So what we going into is, where does a man's strength, where is it supposed to be? And why is it that, you gotta remember one thing, society tells a woman what? Do what you want, you are the power. Society tells women that she's alpha and omega, right? That's what society tells these women. You're alpha, you're omega, and then you don't need a man, right? You don't need to bow down to anything. So we're trying to figure out what's going on here and why this happens. Read Ecclesiastes chapter 9 verse 1.
Ecclesiastes chapter 9 and verse 1.
Go ahead.
Be not jealous over the wife of thy bosom.
Right. Why does the Bible tell a man not to be jealous over his wife?
Because she gonna be seen and talked to.
That's true, but why would a man be jealous over a woman?
Insecurity.
Insecurities, right? Insecurities. But this is why. Read on.
And teach her not an evil lesson against thyself.
You see that? Because now you're teaching this evil lesson to this wife. That, yeah, it's okay to be jealous. It's okay to have to always worry about who the hell I'm talking to and da-da-da-da-da and this and that. But the point is, what I was getting to, the ways that destroy kings. You teaching your wife an evil lesson, right? Go to read verse 2.
Give not thy soul unto a woman to set her foot upon thy substance.
What does that mean? Give not thy soul to a woman. Pertaining to the topic. Who got it? I want y'all, I'm just asking questions. Make sure y'all with me.
Not giving her, that's basically like giving her the rule, right?
Well, not really giving her the rule, but what it's doing is, you're not, listen, you're supposed to love your wife, right?
God.
But what does it say? It says dwell with them according to what?
Knowledge.
According to knowledge. So, if I love you with my whole mind, body, soul, spirit, nothing else can come against anything, right? Everything you do is golden. I can't find no fault in you. What does that do for that man in that relationship?
I got a different.
What's up? Yeah, you got a different answer now, right? What's up?
When I read the rest of it, it said not to let her hinder you from going to.
Right. Where you at?
Where it says to set her foot upon thy substance.
Right.
Because they keep you from doing any kind of work. Like,
keeps you from doing anything.
Work for the Most High or even work that you need to provide for them.
Right. I was going to go here on that. But it says, give not thy soul unto a woman, right?
Right.
You're supposed to love your wife, you're supposed to love your woman, but not to the point where all of us ourselves. But see, society tells a woman, a man's supposed to bend over backwards for you, and then he's got to jump through like the fire hoops, right? He got to say what you want. He got to do what you say. The world says his soul to his woman, or right? Go to well, what is it that a man can do to show this evil lesson? You got me, you're over me, right? Without even saying anything. What's a man can do? Bingo! He wisdom, but he listens to her. Right? Especially if she's not coming with them. Perfect example, go to Genesis 3. Genesis 3 and verse 17. Wisdom of the Most High. The women run with it, man. They run with it to a point where it makes the man look very bad. Go there, Genesis 3 and 17.
Genesis chapter 3 and verse 17.
Uh-huh.
And unto Adam he said, because thou hast hearkened unto the voice of thy wife.
Right, because the wisdom was what? Don't eat from that tree, eat from this tree. Was not Adam a kingdom? The Adamites was a kingdom that was set up. He said, because you hearken unto the voice of your wife, you listen to her wisdom and not mine. Go ahead.
And hast eaten of the tree.
Read.
Of which I commanded thee, saying, thou shalt not eat of it.
Right, so I commanded you one thing, your wife said another, and you were like, yeah, babe, let's do that. Read on.
Cursed is the ground for thy sake.
Yeah, now the whole damn world is cursed. Right. Now we all just in a bad spot. Read.
In sorrow shalt thou eat of it all the days of thy life.
Now, what's another example? I'm trying to say. What type of men here? Now you got to remember, Job was already catching hell since chapter 1, right? He was catching it. Kids done died, house done got blown away. Man, all the cattle are gone. Right? Adam was in paradise. Chilling, living it up. Chilling and living it up. And he bowed to the voice of his wife and got cursed. Job was catching curses, catching hell. Well, let's check out what Job had to say. Let's see if Job conformed to the world. Wife, happy life, BS. Let's see if he did that. Or let's see if he had some balls. Let's see if he was a man or not. What did the scriptures say that you know a man by what?
His wisdom.
A man is commended according to his wisdom, right? So let's see if Job was a man. Read Job chapter 2 and verse 9.
Job chapter 2 and verse 9.
Go ahead.
Then said his wife unto him.
Because Job was catching all this hell. Right. So his wife is like, read on. She says this, read.
Dost thou still retain thine integrity?
It's like, damn, you still standing for this God? You still trying to be upright? Nigga is smashing you. You gonna still hold your integrity, huh? Read on.
Curse God and die.
Yeah, man, forget about being righteous. Forget about upholding the standard. Forget about applying wisdom. Just curse the Most High and just get it over with. Just die. But let's see what you... Yes, dear, you're right. Damn, you know what, baby? You got a point. I'm going to just not believe in the Most High no more. I'm going to do what thou will. Do thou will. I'm going to do your will, honey. What did Job say? Read.
But he said unto her.
Oh, yes, baby, you're right.
Thou speakest as one of the foolish women speak.
He said what?
As one of the foolish women speak.
Yeah, you a damn fool. If you think that I'm going to jeopardize my integrity with the Most High. It don't matter what I'm going through. It don't matter what I'm going through. I'm not going to jeopardize the manner of man that I am. See, a lot of brothers, man, in the truth, in the world, y'all jeopardize y'all integrity to listen to y'all's women. And let me be clear. I'm talking about women that come with that foolishness. I'm not talking about I'm not talking about Proverbs 31 and 26 woman where it says she speak with wisdom. I'm talking about that woman that's coming with all these damn problems, coming with all these negative outlooks, coming with things to diminish your strength. That's what I'm talking about. Y'all with me?
Right.
I'm not talking about the righteous floating Yahweh Shema Thun head wrap skirt with fringes, right? I'm not talking about any of y'all sisters in here. I'm talking about those demons, right? I'm talking about those women that come with division, that perverse thinking, right? They're always against, they're always anti, like, I ain't doing that, right? I don't got time for that. I got to hit the gym, right? I got to do me. It's always about me. How come the Most High ain't blessing me? Well, this is why. You telling your husband in so little words to curse the Most High, right? You saying, let's eat of this tree and not this tree. You in little words, you're saying, listen, we ain't got to follow the Most High. Follow me, babe. Follow me, babe. But a lot of it is because brothers done showed their wife an evil lesson in the past. They show them evil lessons now, in the future, right? So we're seeing these are the things that destroy kings. These are the things that destroy households. So now you got to ask yourself, what's your household looking like? Rhetorical, right? I'm not gonna, right? So, what was Job? Said Job was what? He said she speaks as a what? Job's wife?
Foolish woman.
As a foolish woman. Somebody give me Proverbs 14 and verse 1. So we know that a foolish woman is going to try to break her husband's spirit. That's what Job's rib tried to do. She was foolish. She didn't come with no wisdom. She didn't come with she wasn't the pillar of rest. Like, all right, babe, let's assess the situation. What do we got to do more? Let's fast and pray. Let's do this. Let's do this. Let's set up some prayers. She didn't do none of that. She was like, man, forget about all that. So she came as a fool. So we know a foolish woman is going to try to, she's going to break down her house, which is sad because a lot of women rip down their households with their own hands. And it's like, y'all think that y'all are doing something good. Y'all think that y'all are right. That's the thing I don't understand. Y'all think that y'all are right in your thinking, but it's ripping your house apart. Proverbs in verse 1, please.
Proverbs chapter 14.
This woman is going to build.
Pluck it down with
you. They're off. I don't like the way they do and understand the power of the Most High. Chapter 21 and verse 1. 7 and verse 1. Salakia. Proverbs 7 and verse 21. Damn. Proverbs 7 and verse 21. I'm sorry. Be on the path. Fight for the truth, right? You got brothers that's supposed to be in. And it's like, they're good for, like, something's going on in the house. It always starts at the house. You gotta remember one thing. Come in, you know how they can get you and how they can't. Think about Job. You can get Job through anything. His kids, his house, nothing. Carnal. It had to be another. Brothers in the camp, we talk. And we always talk about, we talk about each other. Like, well, you know, brothers of counsel, look, I see that you're dealing with, that could be Satan trying to, it's going to really be the thing. car ain't gonna take me out. My rib ain't gonna take me out. Not having a place ain't gonna take me out. Not having money ain't gonna take me out. It gotta be something greater. It gotta be something greater. I gotta damn near be cut in half, right? Maimed, dead. That's what's gonna take me out because my wife can't do it. A car can't do it. The carnal can't do it. But for the brothers that do trample down in verse 21.
Chapter 7.
Well, what about me? All that, now it causes a man to yield. To yield up. When you yield, you slow down. It causes a man, because now his strength is being diminished, so he yields off the work. He yields off of wanting to be around. He yields from studying. More focused than needed to these problems. So read on.
With the flattering of her lips, she forced him.
You got to read that with some power. It said, with her much fair speech, she caused him to yield. With her flattering of her lips, she forced him. Read on. He's like, damn, if I don't do what she say, because an ox don't know what. He don't know he about to go get killed. He just moseying along, living life. Go ahead.
As a bird hasteneth to the snare, and knoweth not that it is for his life.
Yeah, because this man is not understanding that these battles that he's being dragged through, all this fair speech and all this yielding, bowing to your woman, letting her break your strength, it's taking the life out of you. But ain't nobody in here doing that, right? We all righteous, right? We ain't doing that, right? We ain't doing that, right? Con. Ladies, women, y'all ain't doing that, right? Con. Read verse 24.
Verse 24. Hearken unto me now, therefore.
Wait. Hearken unto your wife?
Hearken unto me now, therefore.
But in the world, it's like happy wife, happy life. If I don't do what she says, I'm going to be in the doghouse, man. I'm going to have to sleep on the couch tonight. Read.
O ye children.
It says, hearken unto me now, therefore, O ye children. Go ahead.
And attend to the words of my mouth.
Wait, listen, man. My wife, she's always right, dog. So let me make sure that I got to counsel with her and then get the okay. It says, hearken unto who? Read it again.
Hearken unto me now, therefore.
Read.
O ye children. And attend to the words of my mouth.
Of your wife's mouth?
Of my mouth.
Of wisdom? Of the Most High. Read.
Let not thy heart decline to her ways.
You see that? Read on.
Go not astray in her paths.
Right. Because why? This woman ain't coming with no wisdom, man. She ain't coming with nothing that's going to strengthen this man. All she's trying to do is flatter with the lips, weaken his strength, so he's not on his damn job. See, this man is not realizing, if he does fall to this, he's not realizing your wife can't save you. Ain't no woman gonna save you. You chasing around women and not chasing the Most High, you ain't making it. Read on.
Verse 26.
For
she hath cast down many wounded.
Yeah. You see that? This woman got bodies. She got bodies on it. She wounding cats. Think about it, man. You go. I be seeing. Listen. Oh my God. You got cats that don't even want to go home. They don't even want to go home to their wife because their whole soul be wounded after they got to deal with them. Because not only does she come with the flattering words, but then she comes with the loud, crying, gather abroad woman, right? With those piercing words, right? Talking all that mess. You ain't this, you ain't that. How come this? Why you always over there with them? Right? She got bodies, man. She wounding this man up. Wounding his conscience. Go ahead.
Yea, many strong men have been slain by her.
Yeah. Again, she got bodies out there. She's killing cats. Again, nobody in here is doing this to their husband, right? Read on.
Her house is the way to hell.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Come back. It's what?
Her house is the way to hell.
Read.
Going down to the chambers of death.
Yeah, man. This man is dying. Because why? He's hearkening to the voice of a non-wisdom having woman. Go to 1 Ezra chapter 4 and verse 13. 1 Ezra 4 and verse 13. So what are we talking about here today, ladies and gentlemen? Someone give me a brief synopsis. Not everybody answer at once.
What was it just said?
1 Ezra in the Apocrypha, 4 and verse 13. What we talking about, Allison? What we going over today?
We're talking about not taking the strength of a man.
Right.
And in order for a woman to do that, she gives foolish wisdom.
Right.
And if she's constantly foolish, then the man takes his focus off what he needs to be doing to keep correcting her. And the next thing you know, she's the one he's giving more attention to instead of what the Most High wants him to do.
Right. I mean, think about it. Does a woman always have to be foolish? Are y'all fools? No, right? Because what do y'all got? Do y'all didn't say that with no conviction. I don't believe that. I'm like, y'all do? Do y'all? Okay. So what happened to the application thereof? Right? Jeopardy music, I know. But this is the thing. Y'all have to start. Y'all got to be more in the moment. Sisters got to be more in the moment of what is going on. Brothers too, but sisters mainly, because again, y'all dictate the joy of your home. Y'all dictate that. Bottom line, y'all dictate it. It ain't your man, it ain't your husband, especially if he ain't home. You dictate it, man. So you got to be more in tune with that man, and you got to be more in tune with wisdom. If your husband is seeking to attain wisdom, you got to seek to attain wisdom right along with him. Right? Go to 1 Ezra 4 and verse 13.
All right.
I don't know, 4 and verse 13. Yeah, go ahead. So just a brief synopsis of this story before we get to this point. So there was 3 guards that sat at King Darius's door, and they were having a conversation. And they were basically saying, like, man, so what's more powerful? Wine, women, or it was wine, women, or the king? What's more powerful? What are these 3 things that are more powerful? So one man gave his dissertation. They all wrote a letter to the king, and they put it under his bed, under his door. So he woke up, he read them. He said, okay, bring these 3 men here. I want them to talk this to me. I read the letters. I want them to say what they wrote. So now one man talks about the king. The king is better because blah, 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 blah. The other man says, well, no, wine is greater because blah, 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 blah. The other man now, we're going to get to the third brother. He said he was going to go in on women. Right? What's greater, wine, women, or the king? What is greater? What do y'all think? What's the greatest? Huh?
The woman.
Are y'all saying it because y'all know the story?
I would
Right?
say wine.
You say wine, right?
King.
The king, right? What you think, Abiyar? What has the most power?
The king.
The king? Okay. What you think, Abiyar?
I think every one of those have their power.
Yeah. They do, but there's one of them got to control all. Right? Well, we'll see. Go ahead and read that. Read that. 1 Ezra 4 and verse 13. So they all, remember, these 2 brothers gave their little dissertation to the king. One said the king, the other came back and said women. It's long, so I didn't want to go into it. That's why I kind of briefly broke it down. Now we're going to see what this third brother said. Read.
1 Ezra chapter 4 and verse 13.
Go ahead.
Then the third, who has spoken of women, And of the truth.
And of the what?
And of the truth.
So this brother said, listen, I'm going to talk to you about women, but I'm going to also give you another little tidbit. We're going to talk about the truth. But read on.
This was Zerubbabel.
Right? Zerubbabel, read on.
Began to speak.
Go ahead.
O ye men, it is not the great king, nor the multitude of men, neither is it wine.
Right, so he was telling these other brothers, listen, it ain't the king that's more powerful or wine. And he's going to say why. Read.
That excelling. Who is it then that rooted them, or had the lordship over them? Are they not women?
Right, it was a question. Who got the rulership over the king and over the wine? Is it not the woman? Read.
Women have borne the king.
Because women, without the woman, the king wouldn't be here. Right? He's breaking it down to just like preschool levels. Without the king, the woman ain't no king. Read on.
And all the people that bear rule by sea and land.
Right?
Even of them came they.
So even the people that bear rule and all the king's men came from women. Read.
And they nourished them up that planted the vineyards from whence the wine cometh.
And the women are the ones that nourished the men that planted the vineyard. So basically he's showing, without women, there's no king, there are no vineyards. Read on.
These also make garments for men.
And the women make garments for men. They keep them clothed, right? Sisters in here make garments, right? Come on, go ahead.
These bring glory unto men.
Read.
And without women cannot men be.
Read.
Yeah. And if men have gathered together gold and silver, or any other good thing, do they not love a woman which is comely in favor and beauty, and letting all those things go?
Right. Think about it. It's like, man, a man will have gold, silver, diamonds, and what's he gonna do for a woman that he thinks is the most beautifulest thing in this world? Right? He gonna drop the gold, the silver, the diamonds, and chase this woman. Read.
Do they not gape?
You know what it means by read on. Right? Yeah, read on. Go ahead.
And even with open mouth.
Yeah, a man is gonna sit there and stare at a woman like, damn, dog, until the drool runs down his lip. He ain't doing that for no damn jewelry. Show me a man that just sit there staring at some gold and silver or a car longer than he'll stare at a woman and be like, damn, I wish I had that. Look at that. And just be in the abyss. Read on.
Fix their eyes fast on her.
Yeah, go ahead.
And have not all men more desire unto her than unto silver or gold,
right,
or any goodly thing whatsoever. A man leaveth his own father.
He does what?
Leaveth his own father.
Go ahead.
That brought him up
in
his own country. And cleaveth unto his wife.
Yeah, you will leave your whole home. You will uproot and dip off. Damn, dog, I met her on Snapchat, but she's all the way in Cali and I'm all the way in New York. Guess I'm going to Cali. Niggas will do it. Right? Well, damn, bro, she's all the way in Alaska. It's only like a 4-hour plane ride. I don't care. Right? Brothers will do it. Read on.
He sticketh not to spend his life with his wife.
Yeah, he ain't going to stick around your family because you about to go spend your life with your wife. Read.
And remember it neither father, nor mother, nor country.
And then guess what? Your mom got to hit you up like, I haven't heard from you in 3 years. Ah, man, I've just been busy. He been so busy with his wife, he forget about everybody else. Read on.
By this also, ye must know that women have dominion over you.
Whoa. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Hold it right there. I mean, he said it, not me. But is this what was supposed to be?
A lot.
But why is it like that?
Curse.
Hell nah. The curse was the woman was supposed to be subject to her husband.
No.
Abadiah, what's up? This is what happens when a man gives his strength to a woman. This is what happens when a man says, you know what? The Bible, yeah, that's dope. But guess what? I'm going to listen to baby. I'm going to listen to my bae. I'm going to listen to my bae. I'm going to listen to my honey boo, my sugar plum, right? Because she's right. Now, a woman got dominion over you. Where you at?
Last precept, verse 22.
Because you ready to sell your soul for this woman that ain't coming with no damn wisdom. She ain't trying to help. She ain't trying to be a pillar of rest. She just what do they say? Don't fall in love with a big booty and a smile. That's all she got. Ain't nothing. Ain't no substance. What's the word? Substance to her. Right? But you fell in love and you ready to just give it all up. But how come brothers don't be like that with the wisdom? Like, man, I'll forsake everything for wisdom. I'll die for it. How come brothers don't be like that, man? I'm just asking. Anybody can ask. This is a question I want somebody to answer. How come brothers don't be like, damn? How come, better yet, how come sisters don't adopt that same thinking also? How come women, forget about that, how come women don't have the same thinking like, damn, let me adopt wisdom. Let me chase after wisdom the way a man chases me. How come men don't say, let me chase wisdom the way I'm going to chase this broad? The way I'm going to simp up for this woman. And remember every anniversary, every birthday, I'm going to remember the anniversary's anniversary, right? I'm going to remember the anniversary to the day that we met, the anniversary to the first time we kissed, the anniversary to the first time I said I love you, the anniversary to that anniversary, and then 50 years later, you done did like 1,000 anniversaries, but you can't remember the 10 Commandments.
Right.
You can't pass your soldier's test. You can't function in life. What's up with that? We'll make that rhetorical. Read on.
Do ye not labor and toil and give and bring all to the woman?
Right. Don't a man think about it. As long as my baby's happy, I gotta go home and bring home the bacon for the month for Mama Bear. I be hearing this crap, and man, sometimes I hate being in the damn mall because I run into these cats. I run into these. We're at First Ezra. Tell them where you at.
First Ezra, chapter 4 and verse 23.
Right. So for everybody that came in, I'll briefly. For everybody that came in a little bit after. So basically, we're going over the first scripture we hit was Proverbs 31 and verse 3, and basically showing and asking, what is the strength of a man? The Bible says for a man not to give his strength unto a woman. We went through and we figured out what is a man's strength. He could open it. Yeah, he could open it. What is a man's strength? A man's strength is the wisdom, the knowledge, the understanding, and also the fruits of the Spirit. But then if the wisdom and knowledge and understanding is his strength, why is he not supposed to give this to a woman? What is he not supposed to teach her? Of course he's supposed to teach her. But it's the way he gives it to her where she takes it. She takes him away from the Most High, from using wisdom. All right, so we went through that. We went through a couple of scriptures in Proverbs. Now we're into First Ezra, chapter 4 and verse 23. Read on.
Yeah. A man taketh his sword.
Right.
And goeth his way to rob and steal.
Yeah, man, listen. I'm going to go out here. I'm going to get this money because my boo need a pair of shoes. If I don't got no dough, she going to leave me. Right? This is the thinking. They do it out there all the time. Like, I got to live this life of crime because my boo is used to living a certain way. But then, you know, you got brothers that they come into the truth, man. They come into the wisdom and knowledge and understanding of the Most High. And their lifestyle and circumstances change because they have to. You get proved through, what is one way the Most High proves a man? What is one way the Most High proves a man? Huh? Adversity. Yeah, what is it? It starts with an S. Sacrifice, right? You got to sacrifice. You got to give up. He that seek his life shall lose it. He that lose his life for my sake shall gain it. So we know that we got to sacrifice. You got brothers that come in, they're real, they're used to living one lifestyle, right? Don't got to worry about finances. Don't got to worry about if this break down, I can go fix it the same day. I need a new pair of shoes, even though I got 1,000 pair. I'm about to go cop a new pair just cause, right? You do things you on that just cause. Why'd you get a new pair of shoes? Not just cause. I like them. But you come into the knowledge, and the Most High does things where it kind of, you drop down from that just cause level to where it's like, damn, I need a new pair of shoes, but I just can't afford them right now. I got other things to handle. Right? Your just cause changes to, damn, I need that, but I just ain't got it. Right? Because I just don't got it. But guess what? But then your wife is like, well, why we gotta live like that? And how come this? And how come that? And blah, 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 blah. So then what you gotta do? You either gotta say, let me run back out into the world and live a life of crime, robbing, stealing, pimp myself out for the paycheck, or let me what? Let me be Adam and listen to my wife, her non-wisdom having self, or what am I gonna do? Be Job. Right? I'm going to either be Adam or Job. I'm going to give in or I'm going to deal with wisdom. Read on.
To sail, First Ezra chapter 4 and verse 23. Second precept. To sail upon the sea and upon the rivers.
Yeah, he'll sail. This man, cats will sail far and wide to get this dough. Just to make their boo happy. Go ahead.
And look it upon a lion. And go it in the darkness.
Yeah, you know what's sad? This man will look at a lion and be like, I'm going to kill this lion. I'm going to do it for my boo. But then guess what? Coming to the truth. And what does the scripture say? A slothful man is going to sit in his house and say what? There's a lion in the way. I can't go out. Damn, y'all see that?
God.
There's a lion in the way. Because what's he going to do? For his boo, that lion, that's not even an excuse. That's not even a question. I got my sword out. I'm ready for war. But then when that affliction start hitting, when you got to go through something, right? It's like, damn, that same lion that was there 6 months ago, all of a sudden, you just can't move around it. All of a sudden, it's too big of a problem to handle. Because if it ain't about my boo, now it's about putting in work for the Most High. And doing your damn job. Before it was about your boo, so you was ready to go take a lion head on. But now it's like, man, brother, I don't know if that's not in my spirit. I don't know if I can do that. Read on.
And when he had stolen, spoiled, and robbed.
So he already went out on the sea. He got his sword. He went out and sailed far and wide, killed all types of animals and demons, right? Got the spoils. He did all this. He did this. It's like Kobe, man. Remember when Kobe tried to divorce his wife and they had that meme? It was like, he wasn't in the gym shooting with me. How many baskets Kobe wife done shot when they got divorced? And she wanted all the damn money? None. He put on all that work. He went through training camp, right? He played for the Lakers. He went to war. But guess what? Who got all the money? Read on.
He bringing it to his love.
He did what?
Bringing it to his love.
Yeah, it's like, man, I put my life on the line. And I'm going to give you all this. I'm going to give you all this, right? Go ahead.
Wherefore a man loving his wife better than father or mother.
Read.
Yeah. Many there be that have run out of their wits.
They did what?
Run out of their wits.
Wait. Read that one more time. They do what?
Run out of their wits.
Yeah, y'all go out of your minds. I didn't write this at all. I didn't write any of this. The Bible is saying it, ladies and gentlemen. That a man that's not using the wisdom and letting his woman diminish his strength, he's now what?
Out of his wits.
You out of your damn mind. You're out of your mind. Read on.
For women. And become servants for their sakes.
And become what?
Servants for their sakes.
Damn. Are we servants? Is this how it's supposed to be? No, I said, is this? Read it again. Read it again for Fred.
First Ezra chapter 4, verse 26. Yeah. Many there be that have run out of their wits for women.
Right.
And become servants for their sakes.
Go ahead.
Many also have perished.
Many have what?
Have perished.
Yeah, y'all dying carnally and spiritually for these women that ain't coming with no wisdom. But it's almost like brothers love it. It's like they love it out there.
Why they do that?
Why do they do that? Because why? They're not using wisdom. They're letting their strength be diminished. Instead of saying, wait a minute, you wilding out, bugging out, going crazy.
I'm saying, why do they do that?
Say it again?
Why do men do that?
Well, I'm explaining it. Because they're not applying wisdom. You know, instead of when you have a problem at home, you ready to beat your woman up and punch her in the face and knock her into oblivion. Instead of doing that, I'm not saying you. Trust me, there's brothers that want to do it. There's brothers that do it. Instead of applying the wisdom, or any type of wisdom, instead of saying, let me walk off real quick and let you cool down, it's like, I'm going to just yell with you right in your face. But guess what that's doing? That's taking a man's strength. Because now he's bound down to a level of wisdom, no wisdom. Wisdom, no wisdom. The more he yells, screams, get in her face, chokes her, right? The wisdom says what? A soft answer turn away much wrath, right? Agree with thy adversary quickly. Those of your household will be your foes, right? Husbands dwell with them according to knowledge, right? For they are the weaker vessel. The wisdom tells us that a woman is going to act out of her emotion and that a man shouldn't. But as soon as he's like, yeah, you bitch, rah, 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 his wisdom level just slowly drops. The next thing you know, he went from yelling at her to punching her in the face and having her choking out on the floor because he's not applying wisdom. Y'all see that? How many of y'all want y'all men to lose his mind behind y'all's madness? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 2 sisters? How many of y'all want? How many of y'all want y'all man to go crazy? Listen, is this what y'all want? A man that's simple as hell, that'll just be like, yes, boo, yeah, babe, and just divulge everything to you, and there's no strength there. He's weak as hell. You can run over him. Is that what y'all want for a man? Y'all want something that y'all can just run over? Nah, right? So then, how come it's hard? How come it's made hard for a man to be a man? Y'all know what I mean by that? Why do you make it hard for your man to be the man? Why is it that when he comes with something, it's always a rebuttal? It's always a clash of heads. It's always, I don't think it should be done like that. It's, oh, you don't believe in me. You don't love me. You probably don't care anyway. How come it's all these things? How come it's not like, damn, well, I feel a certain way. Let me see if my thoughts line up with the Bible. I feel like a damn insane woman running out of her, running with emotion. Let me see if that's how I'm supposed to be. How come it's never that? How come it's, you always take their side, or you don't care about me? How come there's never any wisdom behind the action? Shalamaya. Shawashna. Sorry. Yeah, you know me, man. Shawashna, what's up?
I think women in the world, because I came from the war too, are confused. So we're taught to step, to stand up for ourselves, not let nobody walk over us, and be independent.
Mm-hmm.
And then we get a man that, it's like you said, we run over him, and we don't like that because we want him to be a man. But then we get the man that wants to be the man, but we don't like it because he's running over us, or so-called doing it, and telling us what to do. So they're confused. You want it, but then when you get it, you're like, nah, not really.
Right, because why? It's like, I don't want to have to deal with what? the things that he has me do, the restriction. I don't want to have to deal with the correction. I don't want to have to be shown myself, right? But how many brothers want to be this dude? I mean, think about it. Where's the backbone in this? Shawashina.
I noticed with like my boss, like his wife pretty much runs them.
Yeah.
But it seems to me like it's easier to just let the wife run you than having to put up a battle, talk to them, get into arguments, and trying to be the man and making sure that you know, okay, look, we're gonna do what I say. That's a lot of work. When you could just be like, okay, Khan, you do what you want.
It's a lot of work when you don't have what?
Wisdom.
Right. When you don't have something above you to show you how to order things. The scriptures say wisdom orders all things. Right? And wisdom taught me. So I get that for the man that ain't got no wisdom. It's like, yeah, man, I just don't want to argue. So guess what? Happy wife, happy life. I'm going to just be simple as hell. I'm going to just let her run the show. Right? You ask him a question, he's like, well, I got to ask my wife about that. He don't know a damn thing. Maybe simple, like we always talk about it, like in the mall. You ask him, bro, man, what kind of cologne you wear? And he's like, I don't know. My wife picks it out. I'm like, but you don't pick up the bottle and read it to see that she ain't poisoning your ass? Right? You don't look to see like, oh, damn. She didn't give me Axe, the cheap stuff. She got me the good stuff. She got me some Blue Chanel. Right? She got me some Creed. You don't look to see like what she got you. You just be like, damn, she got me some cologne. All right. And then you don't check to make sure that she ain't trying to poison you. I'm like, come on, man. You can't be that simple. You can't be that simple where your wife just pushes things to you and you just take them. It shouldn't be like that. But some bros, the sad part is this. Some brothers with wisdom love it. They love it. They love it. They love to be ran. They love to be told and dictated. And it ain't like their wife is like, no, you can't do that. You can't do this. What it is, yes, they don't want to go home to the argument because they don't know how to deal with it. They got some wisdom, but they don't got all. So they get into an argument, not saying, okay, not realizing that when I got this, we ain't got to argue because this trumps all arguments. Let the Most High be true and every man a liar. Right? So they don't understand how to use this. So yeah, it's an argument. And then what does that do? Diminishes a man. You go home to arguing every damn night. It's 5 nights out of the week. You wouldn't want to go home. Right? You wouldn't want to be around. Because it's like, damn, this chick is just, spirit in the house is off. She's off. She making me feel off. But then it's like, you don't even fight it. You just be like, it is what it is, brother. It's another day. Shawashina.
Or like Zach said, sometimes you choose to just let her go, say what she's saying, and you just like stay quiet so you don't get into it.
Yeah.
And they think that you're just being, you being, like they can just start yelling at you.
Right. They take advantage of that. Let me not go in time. Yeah. Go to where we at? Finish that up. Where we at? Ezra's, right? Let's finish it up. So it says many have. Read verse 27. Read verse 26 again.
First Ezra chapter 4 and verse 26.
Go ahead.
Yeah, many there be that have run out of their wits for women.
You see that? Read on.
And become servants for their sakes. Many also have perished, have erred, and sinned for women.
Go ahead.
And now do ye believe not? Do ye not believe me?
Read.
Is not the king great in his power?
Where you at?
Verse 28.
Verse 28. I'm going to skip some. Because we got to take it to verse 41. So I'll just describe it briefly. So this is basically going to describe how the queen took the crown off the king's head, right? Smacked him in the face, and he was with it. He was just like, damn. Okay, he just carried on, and then he had to simp down to her level for her to forgive him. You know how that happens where it's like the woman is tripping and then the man gotta play dumb like, what's wrong, babe? I'm sorry. He gotta apologize first like he did something, but it was her fault. You're like, you did that.
Right.
Why am I apologizing?
Right.
But then you do it because you're like, man, that's my babe. I don't want to fight. Instead of saying, damn, what the hell is your damn problem? Let's figure it out. Right? Mm-hmm. Jump down. Read verse 34. I want to get to a point here. Read verse 34.
Verse 34.
Uh-huh.
O ye men, are not women strong?
Right. Ain't you women just strong? Read.
Great is the earth.
Uh-huh.
High is the heaven.
Uh-huh.
Swift is the heaven. Oh, I said it wrong. Sorry. Swift is the sun in his course.
Go ahead.
For he compasseth the heavens round about, and fetcheth his course again to his own place in one day.
Go ahead.
Is he not great that maketh these things?
So who made these things? Yahushai, right? So it said, is he not great that made the sun? We know women are strong, right? But ain't Christ great that made the sun that runs around the earth? Right? That compasses the earth, the heavens. Salakia, that compass the earth. Right? Read on.
Therefore, great is the truth.
Great is the what?
Great is the truth.
See, we got to realize one thing. Y'all women got to realize one thing. And brothers got to realize one thing. The truth is stronger than women, the king, and wine. Right? The women are, the wisdom is stronger. Read on.
And stronger than all things.
Read.
All the earth calling upon the truth.
The earth is calling on the women.
Upon the truth.
Wait, a man's logic?
The truth.
Read.
And the heavens blessed.
Yeah, see, this is how the earth gets blessed. It calls on the truth. Read on.
All works shake and tremble at it.
Yeah, ain't nobody shaking and trembling at us as men or women. Read.
And with it is no unrighteous thing.
Go ahead.
Wine is wicked.
Yeah, wine is wicked. Read.
The king is wicked.
Read.
Women are wicked.
Women are what?
Are wicked.
Read.
All the children of men are wicked.
Read. Read. Go ahead.
And such are all their wicked.
Why is it saying that wine is wicked? Men, women, their damn children. Why?
Because they have no knowledge until it's...
Because if they're not dealing with the wisdom, it's nothing but unrighteousness. See, this is what it comes back down to. What is the truth? What is the truth? That we're supposed to be the servants of the women, and that a man is supposed to serve them and be subject to them? Is that the truth? Read on.
And there is no truth in them.
Right. Is the truth that a man is supposed to be a simp and not do his job according to what the Most High wants? Read on.
In their unrighteousness also they shall perish.
Yeah, see? You ain't dealing with the truth in all your unrighteous dealings, and you not wanting to be on your job, grown man, and a woman thinking that she can take the reins over her man. You're gonna perish in that. Your own wickedness will correct you. Read on.
As for the truth, it endures.
Yeah, see, the truth is always going to be around. No matter what the hell you think. You can do nothing against the truth, but for the truth. Right? Read.
And is always strong. It liveth and conquereth forevermore.
Read.
With her, there is no accepting of persons or rewards.
The truth ain't worried about man, woman, child. It ain't respecting nobody. Because the truth ain't going to change because of you. Read on.
But she doeth the things that are just.
Yeah, because the truth deals with the things that are right, the just. See, men and their logic and their thinking, they're unjust. Right? Read on.
And refraineth from all unjust and wicked things. And all men do well like of her works.
Where you at?
Now I'm at verse 40.
Read.
First Ezra chapter 4 and verse 40. Neither in her judgment is any unrighteousness.
There's no unrighteousness in truth. Go ahead. In the judgment. Go ahead.
And she is the strength.
Wait, she's what?
Is the strength.
She's supposed to be what?
Is the strength.
Read.
kingdom,
go,
power,
go,
and majesty
of
all ages.
Read.
Blessed be the God of truth.
Read verse 41.
And with that he held his peace. And all the people then shouted and said, Great is the truth.
The woman?
Great is the truth.
The man?
Great is truth.
Wine?
Great is truth.
The way I think?
Great is truth.
Go ahead.
And mighty above all things.
You see that? Great is the truth. So, the truth of the matter is this. We know what the world says. Go to Jeremiah. Go to, somebody give me St. John 8:32 real quick. Basic scripture we always pull. We know what the truth of the world tells us, right? That yes, you're supposed to be a simp, Negro, cater to your woman, every need, you know, bow down when she talks, tuck tail, bow to her words. It doesn't matter if she's coming with wisdom or not. She's the woman. She's always right, right? Men are from Mars, women are from Venus, right? Men are always stupid, dumb. Women are right. Women are more mature, right? That's what the truth of the world is. St. John 8:32.
St. John chapter 8 and verse 32. And ye shall know the truth.
Right.
And the truth shall make you free.
The truth is going to do what?
Shall make you free.
See, there's an emphasis, that word make. It's not like you're going to know the truth and you're just going to be free, dog. No, the truth is going to make you free. See, applying the wisdom is going to make you do what you're supposed to do. It's going to make you be a woman. It's going to make you be a man. Y'all understand that, right? It didn't say, it's not a suggestion like you're going to read this Bible and then pick what the hell you want. It says, no, you're going to know the truth and the truth is going to make you free. It's going to free your mind from the hypocrisy out there that you're supposed to run over your man and that whatever you say goes. Or that whatever your woman says go and she's supposed to run over you and you're supposed to be simple and you're not supposed to fight for Christ. Y'all get that? Go to Jeremiah. Go to Jeremiah 31.
Come. Jeremiah chapter 31 verse 22. How long wilt thou go about, O thou backsliding daughter?
Right? So think about it. It's talking about the whole nation of Israel. How long are you going to go backwards? How long are you going to go backwards in your thinking and your application and the way you do things? Here was a prime example of the nation going backwards. Read on.
Jeremiah.
What you need, Fred? What you need? You want to know where he's at? He's going to repeat it every time he reads. All right? Go ahead. Repeat it.
Jeremiah chapter 31 and verse 22.
Go ahead.
For the Lord hath created a new thing.
Right. So this was the way we were backsliding. Where the Most High had to create a new thing. Read on.
In the earth. A woman shall compass a man.
Because guess what? That was never a thing. That was never a thing. For you to be a simp, for you to just cater and bow down, that was never a thing. For a woman to just be manly and brutish and beastly and just rule over her man. And what I say, go or I'm going to leave. If you do this, I'm going to leave. Bruh. Bye. What they say, bye, Felicia? Bye, Felicia. Because if I'm following the truth, if I'm following what the Most High got, then I don't got to worry. The judgment ain't unrighteous. Read on. Go to Psalms 82 and 5. Psalms 82 and 5.
Psalm chapter 82 and verse 5.
Go ahead.
They know not.
Right, read.
Neither will they understand.
Yeah, it's almost like we don't even want to understand the way that the things were set up and the way things should have been. Read.
They walk in darkness.
Yeah, it's like brothers and sisters want to walk in this darkness of their own mind and their own will and their own doing. This darkness of, if I don't give up my pride, I'm gonna die. Right? If it ain't about my boo, I'm gonna die. See, I'm trying to show both sides here. It ain't a woman's class, it ain't a man's class. It's both sides. Showing you the thinking of a man that, and we're gonna go there. I'm gonna show y'all. We're gonna go there. There's one pivotal scripture I definitely want to hit. We're gonna hit it. We got time. But to show you that a man that's on his game, that's strong in the Most High, there's something for him. But if he bows down and removes himself from his purpose, he ain't gonna get it. And guess what? Guess what, ladies? The woman attached to that man ain't gonna get it either. You attached to a man that's bowing down to you, you ain't gonna make it to see Christ. You ain't gonna make it. I don't know if y'all realize that. You try to master over your man and he just takes it. Everything is, read on. This is the problem. Read on.
All the foundations of the earth are out of course.
Yeah. Everything in your household is out of course. Your thinking is out of course. Go to Isaiah 3. I'm going to speed up a little bit. The foundations are out of course.
You want 3 and
Isaiah chapter 3 and verse 2.
Isaiah chapter 3 and verse 2.
Go ahead.
The mighty men.
Right. So a mighty man, read.
And the men of war.
Right.
The judge.
Right.
And the prophet.
Right.
And the prudent.
Right.
And the ancient.
So all men of stature, all men that are supposed to be leaders. Read on.
The captain of 50.
Right. Read on.
And the honorable men.
Uh-huh.
And the counselor.
Uh-huh.
And the cunning artificer.
Artifactor.
Artifactor. And the
eloquent orator.
And the eloquent orator.
Right. All these men that have positions of power. Huh?
Isaiah.
Isaiah chapter 3 and verse 2. When you hear it, you just got to write it down. Isaiah chapter 3 and we're at verse 3 now. Right? All these men that were supposed to do what? What were all these men?
Rulers.
Rulers, men of position. Right? They were supposed to be leading the nation. But check this out. Read verse 4.
And I will give children to be their princes, and babes shall rule over them.
You see that? These men of power. When things are out of course, now the rulers got children. Now you got your kids ruling over you, telling you what to do, dictating to you what they're going to do and what they're not going to do. How are you supposed to build like that? How do you get anywhere with a child running the show? How do you get anywhere with a grown-ass person with a child's mentality running the show? How do you get anywhere? You can't, right? Read on.
Verse 5.
Uh-huh.
And the people shall be oppressed.
Now you see why we're oppressed. Beat down, trodden down, in slavery. Because y'all flipped the script. Y'all did a role reversal where it's like, damn near the man is the woman and the woman is the man. Read on.
Every one by another.
Uh-huh.
And every one by his neighbor.
Go ahead.
And the child shall behave himself proudly against the ancient.
And now you got these kids coming against the ancient, coming up against the wisdom. The leaders like, nah, we don't need you. We're going to run ourselves. These millennials. Is that what they call them? Millennials, right? That's what they call them. That new generation. You got the baby boomers, which are like the old ones. And then you got, yeah, and then you got something else. Then the millennials are the new ones. But the millennials telling the baby boomers, look, we don't need your wisdom. We're going to do it ourselves. Read on.
And the base against the honorable.
You see that? And these base-ass people with no wisdom against the honorable men that showed their wisdom, their knowledge, their understanding to build. Go ahead.
When a man shall take hold.
Jump to verse 8.
Verse 8.
So because of all this, because the roles have been reversed, because a woman can pass the man, because now men are ruled by children, this is what happened. Read verse 8.
For Jerusalem is ruined.
Jerusalem is the best?
Jerusalem is ruined.
Man, we're ruined as a people. We're ruined. Read.
And Judah is fallen.
And this is our downfall. Go ahead.
Because their tongue and their doing are against the Lord.
Yeah, because when your rib was coming with all those smooth sayings that we read in Proverbs, those smooth things, like, yeah, baby, you ain't got to do that. Damn, they making you go work 7 days in a row. You ain't got to be at that mall like that. You shouldn't have to do that. Right? Flyers, it's so hot, babe. It's 101 degrees out. You shouldn't have to go out there and do flyers for an hour. It's just too hot. You shouldn't be subject to that. You need AC, right? Read on.
To provoke the eyes of his glory.
Go ahead.
They show of their countenance doeth witness against them.
Go ahead.
And they declare their sin as Sodom.
Yeah, it's damn near like Sodom and Gomorrah, man. The roles have been reversed so bad, it's equal to Sodom. Read on.
They hide it not.
Yeah, but they don't hide it. Y'all ain't, the spirit ain't, y'all ain't hiding it. Y'all just out here boastful with it. Like, yeah, I know I run my man. What's up?
I be saying that America is no Babylon.
It's no what?
It's America Babylon.
America is Babylon. Yes, sir. And that's what we going. That's what we talking about. It happens out there, but it does happen with brothers with the wisdom. Read on.
Woe unto their soul.
What?
Woe unto their soul.
Yeah, now you see why your soul is destroyed. Both sides. Because you're not fulfilling your purpose. You a woman trying to run your man. Woe unto your soul. Because you know what? It's taking so much out of you to try to control your husband. You're destroying yourself. And the man is taking so much out of him to just bow down. It's destroying him. It's destroying him. It's destroying your soul. Because you know, you can feel it. You can feel your conscience like, man, this chick, man. I know I need to say something and correct her, but I ain't gonna do it because that's my babe. I don't want to hurt her feelings. Right? Read on.
For they have rewarded evil unto themselves.
What verse you at?
Verse 9.
Read verse 10.
Verse 10. Say ye to the righteous, that it shall be well with them. For they shall eat the fruit of their doings.
Right. See, the righteous are going to get the fruit of their doings. Read verse 11.
Isaiah chapter 3 and verse 11.
Go ahead.
Woe unto the wicked.
Woe unto what?
Woe unto the wicked.
Read on.
It shall be ill with them.
Go ahead.
With him. For the reward of his hand shall be given to him.
Go ahead.
As for my people, children are their oppressors.
Yeah, see, children are their oppressor. Read on.
And women rule over them.
Wait. And women do what?
Women rule over them.
Because brothers let it happen. Because you let it happen. Because you have the wisdom. You have that position of power. And instead of letting wisdom reign, instead of letting the truth take hold, you gave in Adam. You gave in to Eve. Read on.
Oh, my people. They which lead thee cause thee to err.
So now that your woman reigns over you, she does what?
Cause thee to err.
She caused you to go into error. Read on.
And destroy the path, the way, and the path.
And now your path is destroyed.
Of the path.
Because the leader, the right leader, ain't leading you. Read on.
The Lord standeth up to plead.
Jump to verse 16.
Verse 16. Moreover, the Lord saith, because the daughters of Zion are haughty.
Yeah, because you're haughty as hell, prideful, proud, think you know everything, know it all, prideful more. I'm going to say it one more time. You're prideful. Because you're prideful, haughty, stiff-necked, nose stuck to the damn sky, no one can tell you nothing. You know the Bible. You know the worldly wisdom. You know everything. Because you haughty, and because your man ain't correcting you, according to wisdom, read.
And walk with stretched forth necks.
Yeah, you just stretched out like a damn bird, just looking for everything. Just looking, like, where can I cluck to? Well, why didn't they call women chicken heads? Or that was the term, right? Chicken head. Right? Why didn't they call them that? Because that's how they act. Read.
And wanton eyes.
Yeah, you got these wanton eyes for everything you see. I need to get this person, this shoe, that. I need to get this dude and that dude with the muscles. Oh, he got the dreads. I need him. Right? You got these wanton eyes. Go ahead.
Walking and mincing as they go.
Go ahead.
And making a tinkling
Yeah,
with their feet.
Because you want to and make little noises so you can be seen. Right? You want everything but the wisdom. Go ahead.
Therefore the Lord will smite with the scab.
Go ahead.
The crown of the head.
Yeah, now you bald. You cursed. Got the botch. You gotta, come on, man. Now you gotta go buy a Cambodian's hair and put it on your head, and then you catch some weird disease and wonder why. Yeah, here it is. This is why. Read on.
Of the daughters of Zion.
Right, read.
And the Lord will discover their secret hearts.
Read on.
In that day the Lord will take away the bravery of their tinkling ornaments.
Wow, man, you got all this bravery. You got all this bravery when it comes to ruling your husband. Right? You could stand up to your husband and talk all that crap. You could rule your man out there in the world, but you can't stand for righteousness. You can't use that same bravery to stand for the Most High in Christ. Oh, well, you ain't Christ. You ain't God. Right? Y'all hear it. I've heard it. But you ain't Christ. But guess what? What does that mean? What does that mean that I ain't Christ? I'm using the words of Christ. Because if Christ was right here in front of you, guess what? Your ass wouldn't even be talking. Heads would be up rolling. You damn right I'm not Christ.
You lucky.
But if Christ, yeah, you lucky. Because if Christ was in front of you, you wouldn't have a chance to utter that you ain't Christ. Read on.
About their feet.
Read.
And their claws. And their round tire like the moon.
Read. Listen, let me ask y'all a question. Do y'all think I'm talking about every sister? That every sister is just off and wicked and just garbage and stinky, like the Bible says, and bald-headed? What am I talking about? What type of sisters?
The wicked.
The what?
Wicked.
Right. I'm talking about sisters that purposely and unpurposely, because you got sisters that do things obliviously, but even your obliviousness needs to be checked. You do things to diminish your husband's power in the household. You do things to diminish your husband's work in the Most High. You say little things that to make him, not saying that he does it or they do it, but you say things to try to make him second guess what he's doing. Ain't that what Job's wife did? She was like, damn, you still gonna hold up your integrity after all this? The Most High is killing your ass. And you still gonna be righteous? But see, sisters do that too. You throw little things out there like, I don't know why you doing that. He ain't doing that. He ain't always at the mall. Right? Come on, man. Y'all say it. Y'all say it, man. Y'all say it. Y'all do it. You try to compare what one brother is doing to the next and why you shouldn't have to do it because he's not doing it. And then he makes the man start to do what? He starts to think, second guess, like, damn, you right. But then, see your brother out the spirit, he gonna be like, you got a point, babe.
That makes sense.
That makes sense. Let me inquire about that. Let me think. Then you start thinking and every demon hits you. Next thing you know, you get a text, like, yeah, shalom, brothers, I'm out. And it's like, what? What happened? Well, my rib had said, wait, your rib had said, okay, what brother did you counsel with to come to that conclusion that your rib had said? Your rib ain't in the mall either. Your rib ain't doing the work either. She ain't handing out flyers either. So what can she say? Read on. Where you at?
Verse 19.
Go ahead.
The chains and the bracelets and the mufflers and the bonnets and the ornaments of the legs and the headbands and the tables.
See, the Most High is showing He's going to take away y'all's beauty, man. He's going to take away all the things that makes a woman beautiful. All the things. You know what really makes a woman beautiful? What is it? Well, demons are spirits too. I'm going to use that one. No, I know. You know what I mean. I like saying that. Demons are spirits too. Right? What's up?
I'm talking about to the question.
Yeah.
That's to your question. When a husband and wife agree.
When damn. Yeah. Yeah, listen, the Most High takes joy in that. When a husband and wife agree. But that's what makes and obviously we're talking about agreeing in the spirit. We're not talking about let's go agree to go do this drug deal. Let's agree for me to stuff you like a mule with a couple of packs so you cross the border. No, let's agree to get you on the pole. We ain't talking about that. We're talking about agree in wisdom, agree in the spirit, agree on simple things like how are we gonna raise our child? Simple little things, man, where a husband and wife, they get crossed, the hairs get crossed because you want to cut his hair one way and you want to cut his hair another. And it's like, what the hell? I don't want to do that. And she's like, well, I'm going to do it anyway. I'm going to do it anyway. I don't care what you say. Because you got that. It'd be little small things. It ain't got to be nothing big. And then you go do it, then now your husband's just in an uproar, smashing your head with all types of scriptures, and you just like, I don't care. All it was a haircut. All it was I just wanted him to look like The Weeknd. Right? It's little things. Read on.
Verse 21.
Uh-huh.
The rings, the nose jewels, and the changeable suits of apparel, and the mallets, and the wimplings, and the crisping pins. Verse 23. The glasses, and the fine linen, and the hoods, and the veils. Verse 24. Isaiah chapter 3, verse 24. And it shall come to pass that instead of a sweet smell, there shall be stink.
Go ahead.
And instead of a girdlet, of rent. And instead of well set hair, boldness. And instead of a stomacher, a girdle of sackcloth.
Y'all see, the Most High is showing you that when the roles are reversed, when a man is not in his power, when a man is not allowed to be the man through wisdom, this is what's going to happen to the woman. Because now you're leading yourself into destruction. See, the man ain't leading you here. Right? When we read up, it said the woman was going to be over the man. So now you got to see it. You're leading yourself into destruction. You went from this beautified, beautiful jewel to a crackhead. Right? Looking like, I don't know what you look like in this. You don't even look like Shanae. You don't even look like, you don't look like nothing that I've seen, right? You look like a fiend. But guess what? Who's leading themselves into it? The woman. Right, because the man is just off to the side like, whatever. I ain't got no backbone. I'm weak. I'm whacked. I don't got no say. So you're leading yourself into this. So what's your household looking like? If this is what you look like, you stink, you bald, you fat, your gear is messed up. So everything about you is just gone. Spirit just destroyed. What's your household, your children look like? If you can't lead yourself, what does your house look like? What's your man's spirit look like when he just in the background just getting torn up by your mouth and all your talking? What's he look like when he got to walk around with you and you just gone in the head? What's it look like? Who wants that for themselves? Who wants that? Who wants to be Isaiah chapter 3? What sister in here wants that? You got to ask yourself, is this what I want? Well, if not, you got to check yourself and check the way things are done in your household, the way you do things. Check your spirit against this and say, damn, am I trying to usurp the authority? Is my man, is he too simple on me? Is he too soft on me? You got to check yourself against these things. See, so, we went through and showed that this type of woman, this foolish woman is going to rip down our household. Go to Revelations. But a strong man is not going to let it happen. See, a man that got integrity like Job, a man of integrity, a man of wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, he will not let it fly. He going to check it. He may not be and a lot of people take a man of wisdom that kind of lays back and observes things. They take him for granted because it's like he don't just strike at every instant. I'm not that type of guy. I don't just hit everything direct on, full force, double uppercut, triple side kick. That's not me. I pick my battles. I pick my moments. That don't mean I just let everything slide or even let anything slide. Go to Revelation. Go to Revelation chapter 14 and verse 4.
Revelation chapter 14 and verse 4.
Go ahead.
These are they which were not defiled with women.
These are they that what?
Which are not defiled with women.
See, a man of strength. What does it mean to be by defiled? What does it mean? He wasn't defiled by women.
I mean, he didn't become weak to them.
He didn't become weak. What else? What we've been going over?
He stayed with the ways of the Most High.
He stayed with the ways of the Most High. Most importantly, he didn't let his woman and the things that she had going on diminish his job, diminish his office, take him away from what he was supposed to be, divide his mind. See, read on. We're going to see what happened to this man. Read.
For they are virgins.
They are virgins, so they're undefiled. Not that they didn't, people try to use this like, yeah, see, we ain't supposed to have sex. Stop. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. No, that's not what this scripture is saying. These were they that were not defiled with women. They weren't able to, there was a lot of different defilements that can come with women, right? A lot of different defilements. You can have your sexual defilements. That's why the scriptures say a bed undefiled, right? Marriage is honorable, but a bed undefiled. So you had that, but you had your spiritual defilement, your fornication, where it's like, well, we ain't going to follow the wisdom. Let's follow what I say. Or guess what? Better yet, follow your own mind. Think for yourself, babe. You get that a lot too. Where a woman thinks she's slick, it's like, well, I know he ain't going to listen to what the hell I'm saying, but I'm going to tell him to listen to what he's saying. Don't listen to the wisdom. Think for yourself. That's wrong too. But see, these men, they weren't what? Read on. They weren't defiled with women.
These are they which follow the Lamb whithersoever he goeth.
They did what?
Follow the Lamb whithersoever he goeth.
Yeah, listen, these men, they were about that life. I'm about that life. I don't care what you got going. Listen, I care what you got going on, but I don't care what you got going on. Meaning, we all got issues. I'm going to help you go through it, but guess what? You're not going to pull me into your drama. You ain't going to pull me into your mind state. You ain't going to pull me away from the Lamb. You ain't going to pull me away from the work. No matter how much you complain, try to come with your own wisdom, you ain't going to simplify my mind and simp me down to the point where I'm no longer useful to Christ. Read on.
These were redeemed from among men.
They were what?
Redeemed from among men.
So we know it was talking about men. Read on.
Being the first fruits unto the Most High and unto the Lamb.
Think about it. When we gave when we give the offering, when you read about the offering of the first fruits, was it like the raggediest, like we just like, oh yeah, let's just pick the raggedy crap and give it to the Most High? Oh, this one got blotches and it got worms in it. Yeah, we're gonna get that to the Most High. When we supposed to pick the lamb, right? The best lamb without spot. Did we just give the old little raggedy runt lamb to the Most High? Nah, it was the best of the best. These men were the best of the best. They ran their households. They kept their integrity. They stood for, they stood for something. They stood for something. They gave up. They gave up. They sacrificed. They had faith. They did it for the Most High. They did it for Christ. Through all the battles, through all the perils and trials and affliction, they held their faith. They didn't let anything pull them too far to the right or too far to the left. Were they being pulled? Of course. Of course. Did they have wives that were like, babe, why? Why do we got to do that? I don't want to deal with this. I know I ain't got to be here, but blah, blah, blah. Of course they did. But what did they do? So they followed the Lamb whithersoever he went. They was chasing wisdom. They were growing. Y'all understand that? Go to Luke chapter 2. This is another example of what they were doing. See, you got to remember, the scriptures say God, Christ, man, woman, child. Luke chapter 2 and verse 40, right? So the scriptures give us the order: God, Christ, man, woman, child. So God gives the order, Christ does it, we're supposed to follow Christ, right? So let's see what Christ was doing. Was he just a dude that was like, man, I'm going to just do me. I got the power, got the wisdom, got the knowledge. Guess what? I need to be free. I need to go use this wisdom for wickedness. I need to go just do whatever I want. Let's see. Read verse 40. Luke chapter 2 and verse 40.
Luke chapter 2 and verse 40.
Go ahead.
And the child grew and waxed strong in spirit.
So we're talking about Christ here, Yahweh Shai. He grew, he waxed strong in the spirit. So he was from a babe, right? Growing up. Read on.
Filled with wisdom.
Right, so he was getting filled up with wisdom. Look at yourself as Christ coming into the knowledge. You get in here, you don't really know nothing, but guess what? You start to grow in the wisdom. You start to wax strong. You got a year in, right? You're like, damn. All of a sudden, you went from a soldier, you went from a trooper to a soldier, you an officer of 50, you shining, right? You got your breakdowns, your class in order. You got them all, right? You got your 40 classes, whatever it is, right? You're excelling. Your council game is getting up. Got your ribbon order. Kids is looking good. Household is flourishing, right? Because you waxing strong in the wisdom. You growing, right? Read on.
And the grace of the Most High was upon him.
Right, Most High has shown you grace. Brought you back from the damn dead. He brought you back. What happened? Don't pay attention to him. Hey, can you pick up reading? Can you tell him to not do that? Pick up reading. Jeremiah, can you go out there and talk to him real quick?
Yeah.
So it said the grace of the Most High was with him. Right? Go ahead.
Luke chapter 2 and verse 41. Now his parents went to Jerusalem every year at the feast of the Passover.
Go ahead.
And when he was 12 years old.
So Christ was only 12 years old at this time. Read.
They went up to Jerusalem after the custom of the feast.
Right, because guess what? His parents were law-abiding citizens. Christ was made after the law, and they kept the law ever since. Read on.
And when they had fulfilled the days, as they returned, the child Jesus tarried behind in Jerusalem.
Right, so they did the Feast of Unleavened Bread, the Passover, they kept the law, like the scriptures say. And then it was like, okay, it's time to leave. But guess what? Christ was nowhere to be found. He stayed in Jerusalem. Go ahead.
And Joseph and his mother knew not of it.
Yeah, they didn't even know. This 12-year-old boy just took it on himself to stay back. Let's see what he was doing. Read on.
But they, supposing him to have been in the company, went a day's journey.
So they went a whole day without realizing that he wasn't with them. Go ahead.
And they sought him among their kinsfolk and acquaintance.
Read on.
And when they found him not, they turned back again to Jerusalem, seeking him. And it came to pass that after 3 days, they found him in the temple.
He was where?
In the temple.
Well, he was like just off doing his own thing?
In the temple.
Go ahead.
Sitting in the midst of the doctors.
So listen, this 12-year-old boy, at that time, he was a 12-year-old man. See, it's a whole different lifestyle. He was a 12-year-old man, but just think about it. He's with doctors. Read on.
Both hearing them and asking them questions.
What verse you at?
Verse 47.
So he was listening to what they were saying and asking them questions. So they was having a discourse. Right? He wasn't like some little ass simple kid just there like, and they hitting them with things and he's like, I don't understand that. I don't know. They were having a back and forth conversation. Go ahead.
And all that heard him were astonished.
Because they're like, damn, this little young man, he knows what's going on. He's with it. Read on.
At his understanding and answers.
Go ahead.
And when they saw him, they were amazed. And his mother said unto him, Son, why hast thou done thus dealt with us?
Yeah, she's like, son, why did you not come back with us? Why did you deal like that? Why did you just take off? Or why did you stay behind and let us leave without you? Go ahead.
Behold, thy father and I have sought thee sorrow.
Yeah, you got us going crazy. Think about a parent that loses their child for a whole day. Like, what? You go mad. So, what would you, if this happened to you, what would you expect your kid to say? Mommy, I'm sorry. I'll never do it again. Blah, 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 right? All the little things that kids do. What did Christ say? This 12-year-old man, what did he, let's see, what did he say? Read that.
And he said unto them, How is it that ye sought me?
And he's like, what you looking for me for? What are you looking for me for? Read.
Wish ye not that I must be about my father's business?
Like, man, don't you know I'm about my father's business? Don't you know I'm here to do my job? I'm not here to worry about what y'all feel and what y'all think. See, this is the example of these men in Revelations 14:4. See, Christ was the lamb, right? Christ is the lamb. But the lamb was following the Most High. But we're supposed to follow the lamb the way the lamb follows the Most High. That's why I went here to show you. Christ wasn't about his own thing. Oh, I'm 12 years old. I got to go play in the dirt and ride my bike, right? I need to go play my video game. My PlayStation 4 is out. He wasn't about that. He was about, read it again.
My father's business.
It was about his father's business. Go to 1 Corinthians. 1 Corinthians 15:58. So these are these men that were undefiled, right? They stayed about their father's business. This is why they were undefiled. This is why they weren't tainted with women. They didn't let their father's business be interrupted with the affair. No man that goeth to war entangle himself with the affairs of this life. 2 Timothy 2. No man that goes to, they understood, look, we got to battle. We got to fight. We can't let the affairs of this life, I can't let my affairs of this life, I can't let my parents going crazy. Because imagine if you would have told them, yeah, I'm going to stay back. They'd be like, hell no. Nah, you ain't doing that. But guess what? He just like took it upon himself. Like, I got to go do this. I got to go deal with these people. I got to go deal with these doctors. I got to give them the wisdom. I got to go rap to them. We in the temple. I got to break it down. But if I tell y'all, y'all ain't going to get it. So let me just do what I got to do. Let me just be about my father's business. Read that, 1 Corinthians.
1 Corinthians, chapter 15 and verse 58.
Go ahead.
Therefore, my beloved brethren.
Go ahead.
Be ye steadfast.
Wait, be double-minded?
Steadfast.
Just be tossed with every wind of doctrine?
Steadfast.
Read on.
Unmovable. Wait,
so when a woman talks to you, you're supposed to just jump off your square and bow to her?
Unmovable.
Wait, so the woman, she's supposed to just like jump out of her position and not be the woman, but be the man?
Unmovable.
Read.
Always abounding in the work of the Most High.
Read.
For as much as ye know that your labor is not in vain.
Yeah, see, these men always abounded in the work of the Most High. Because they understood the labor was not in vain. They were the ones that were called up. These men in Revelation, who were they?
Men of the Most High.
Yeah, but what position did they attain? Who knows? Who knows what position these men attained in Revelations 14?
The 144,000?
Yeah, they were the 140. Listen, these men are the 144,000. They didn't just go through all the trials, tribulations, hold fast to the truth, stand for something just to get a pen with their name engraved on it. Nah. Or just to say they did it. These are the men that's going to run. These are the men that are going to run Israel. So you got to ask yourself, how you going to be a ruler if you can't even... How are you going to rule a nation? Think about it. It's 144,000. It's not one ruler as far as the body, right? The governing body. It's 144,000. So what does that tell you about this man? There's a lot of attributes that he has, right? He got to be able to counsel. He got to be able to reason. He got to be able to discourse back and forth. He got to be able to condescend. He got to know when to hit hard, when to pull back. He got to know when to be charitable. He got to know when to be hospitable. He got to know when to be long-suffering. He got to know when to judge. He got to know when to rebuke. Right? He has to be well-rounded and tempered. But how can you do this? How can you be well-rounded and tempered? Scripture says you got to be tempered in all things. How? When as soon as your woman opens up her mouth, you just sing.
Ye might be partakers of the divine nature.
Go ahead.
Having escaped the corruption that is in the world through lust.
This is how they escaped the corruption. This is how these 144,000, it says they were not defiled with women, right? Okay. This is how they did it. I'm going to show you how. Read verse 5.
Verse 5. And besides this, giving all diligence.
They were what?
Giving all diligence.
Go ahead.
Add to your faith virtue.
So they had what?
Faith, virtue.
So they had diligence and faith. Go ahead, which built virtue. Somebody look up the word virtue. Read on.
And to virtue, knowledge.
Right, so they used the knowledge. Go ahead.
And to knowledge, temperance.
Wait, and what?
Temperance.
And so to knowledge gave them the ability to be temperate. They had temperament. Somebody else look up the definition of temperate or temperance. What you got for virtue?
Virtue. Behavior showing high moral standards.
So add to your faith high moral standards. And to your high moral standards, you got knowledge. And to your knowledge, who got the definition of temperance? I know y'all are writing. Temperance. Temperance. T-E-M-P-E-R-A-N-C-E.
It says to abstain from an alcoholic beverage.
Right. Okay.
Abstinence from alcohol.
Right. Okay. So there's a. Oh no! Here it is. Moderation or self-restraint, especially in eating or drinking. That's not the one I was looking for. There's Black Dictionary. Can somebody get that? What you got?
It says a moderation of self-restraint in action, statement, self-control.
Right, because it's not just about food and drink. When you're tempered in all things, your temperament. You're not gonna fly off at the handle at everything. You're not gonna be too hard. You're not gonna be too soft. You're gonna know when to rebuke them sharply. You're gonna know when to give a soft answer. So it says their temperance. Read verse 6 again.
And to knowledge, temperance.
Go ahead.
And to temperance, patience.
So they were temperate, knowledgeable, diligent, faithful, patient. What else?
And to patience, godliness.
Go ahead. And that godliness did what? Read on.
And to godliness, brotherly kindness.
And that godliness built brotherly kindness. Love the Most High with all your heart. Love your neighbor as yourself. Read on.
And to brotherly kindness, charity.
Right. And they were charitable. Go ahead.
For if these things be in you.
So these things are supposed to be in us. Man, woman, and child. Go ahead.
And abound.
And they're supposed to stick. It is like, oh, I was charitable last week. I'm good. No, they're supposed to abound in you and grow. Go ahead.
They make you that ye shall neither be barren nor unfruitful.
Yeah, but you know why a lot of brothers are unfruitful? Because you don't got these. You know why sisters literally are unfruitful? Because you ain't got this. You're missing a few things. You're missing, maybe your faith ain't there. Maybe your patience ain't there. Maybe your faith and patience ain't there. Maybe you got the knowledge, but you ain't got no temperance. You ain't got no gauge. See, because you're not rounded. So you won't neither be barren nor unfruitful. Go ahead.
In the knowledge of our Lord Yahweh Shai.
Read verse 9.
But he that lacketh these things is blind.
Yeah, but he that lacketh these things. You don't got these things, you blind to what's going on, man. You blind to the world. You blind to what's happening to you. You blind to your husband. You're blind to your family. You're blind to yourself. You're not looking well to your own going. Go ahead.
And cannot see afar off.
Where there's no vision, the people perish. Read.
And have forgotten that he was purged from his old sins.
Yeah, you forgot that the Most High took you out of something. You forgot that you were saved for a purpose. Read on.
Wherefore the rather, brethren, give diligence to make your calling and election sure.
So you got to do what?
Give diligence to make your calling and election sure.
Read on.
For if ye do these things.
Right, so if you use the knowledge, patience, faith, brotherly kindness, godliness, charity, if you do these things, read.
Ye shall never fail.
Read on.
For what, for an entrance shall be ministered unto you abundantly unto the everlasting kingdom of our Lord and Savior, Yahweh Shai HaMashiach.
This is how these men made it. They displayed these things. This is how you get to the kingdom. This is how these men became that 144 that were not defiled because they did these things. So go to 1 Thessalonians real quick. Oh, this is the last scripture. Yeah, right on time, baby. Right on time. Damn, I actually got through all of it. So again, and this is my, I always like to give an encouraging last statement. I always like to, man. It's like, well, this is the reason. I said all that to say this. I say that to say this. Read 1 Thessalonians 4 and verse 1. I say all that, all them scriptures was for this point. Read.
1 Thessalonians chapter 4 and verse 1. Furthermore, then we beseech you, brethren.
And sisterin, go ahead.
And exhort you by the Lord Yahweh Shai.
We exhort, man, we pushing you through the faith of the Most High in Christ. Go ahead.
That as ye have received of us, howbeit. I'm messing up. Can I start?
Take over for him. 1 Thessalonians chapter 4 and verse 1.
That as ye have received
Start
of
from the top.
us.
Start from the top.
Go ahead.
Go on.
1 Thessalonians chapter 4 and verse 1. Furthermore, then we beseech you, brethren, and exhort you by the Most High, Yahweh Shai, that as ye have received of us, how ye ought to walk.
Right, because you're receiving how you ought to walk through the Spirit of the Most High, through the Word, through the Scriptures. You're receiving how you ought to walk. Go ahead.
And to please, yeah.
Right.
So ye would abound more and more.
Right, because the hope is that we show you what the Most High wants to please Him, that you abound more and more. You grow more and more. Read.
For ye know what commandments we gave you by the Master Yahweh Shai.
Yeah, you know what the Bible says. Read on.
For this is the will of God.
Go ahead.
Even your sanctification.
Even your what?
Sanctification.
Go ahead.
That ye should abstain from fornication.
Go ahead.
That every one of you should know how to possess his vessel in sanctification.
Think about it. It said abstain from fornication. What is the reason why I pulled it was to show you that a woman, a wife, when you're pulling your husband, when you're not using the wisdom and you have all these problems that are created in your house, and then you're pulling your husband from the wisdom, you're helping him to create this spiritual fornication. Because now he's bowing to you, your words, his own mind, but not using the scriptures, the spirit. Right? And then when you don't allow your husband to come with the wisdom, or you block the wisdom, you're committing fornication. That's what you're doing. Because you serving something. You serving some God. Right? You serving the God of your mind. You serving the God of that pride that's on you. That rebelliousness. Listen, the Bible says rebelliousness is the sin of witchcraft. Right? You serving them witches that are in your head. Those brujas. Right? I like to throw my Spanish word out there every class. Right? Read on. Read on.
1 Thessalonians chapter 4 and verse 5.
Bruja.
Not in the lust of concupiscence, even as the Gentiles, which know not God.
Right. See, we don't want to be like the Gentiles that don't even know the Most High. We know the Most High. We know what He wants. We know how He wants us to serve Him. We know where He has us as, if you want to deal with a gender, you know what you're supposed to be doing gender-wise. And then if you're in a marital relationship where you're married, you know what you're supposed to be doing. If you're a single sister, you know what you're supposed to do. Single brother, you know what you're supposed to be doing. We know what we're supposed to be doing. Right? Go to Colossians. This is the last one. Chapter 2 and verse 6. Colossians 2 and verse 6. Last two scriptures, and then we're going to end it there. And if y'all got questions online, just hold them until tomorrow. We'll hit them tomorrow, man. All right? Whatever questions y'all got, bring them back tomorrow. We'll be back here at 10 a.m. Sabbath class. We'll get it in. All right? Colossians chapter 2 and verse 6.
Colossians chapter 2 and verse 6. As ye have, therefore, received Hamashiach Yahushua.
So if you receive, as you have therefore received Christ, read.
The Lord, so walk ye in Him.
Wait, turn away from Him?
So walk ye in Him.
Don't use the knowledge?
So walk ye in Him.
You're supposed to walk in Him. Walk in the wisdom. Don't receive a good saying, oh, that was a great class, brother. And then go do the whole opposite. You're supposed to walk in the wisdom. Go ahead.
Rooted.
What?
Rooted.
Read.
And built up
Go
in
ahead.
Him.
Go ahead.
And established in the faith.
You're supposed to be established in the faith. You're supposed to be rooted, built up. Go ahead.
As ye have been taught.
Oh, wait. No one showed you?
As ye have been taught.
Right, because we're showing you. Go ahead.
Abounding therein with thanksgiving.
With bitterness?
With thanksgiving.
With hate?
With thanksgiving.
With just envy?
With thanksgiving.
I don't want to be here.
With thanksgiving.
You're supposed to abound therein with thanksgiving. Go ahead.
Beware, lest any man spoil you through philosophy.
Yeah. See, the world's philosophy is that you can do whatever you want. You're independent. The world's philosophy is, man, you're too aggressive. You need to simp down, bow to your woman, buy her flowers as soon as she gets mad. Candies and chocolates are the way to a woman's heart. Cooking is the way to a man's heart. All that crap that don't even matter. Don't be spoiled through those philosophies of the world. Read on.
And vain deceit.
Yeah, because it's all vanity. It's all deceitful. It don't solve problems. If your husband's upset, cooking for him ain't gonna solve the problem. You need to figure out what the hell's going on. If your wife got issues and she needs to talk, buying her chocolate, flowers, and balloons ain't gonna change it. Taking her to the movies,
still gonna be there.
Yeah, the problem is still gonna be there. Getting her drunk, that ain't gonna do nothing. That's the world's philosophy. See, the philosophy of the Most High in Christ that we should be walking in is, let's deal with the wisdom. Let's use the wisdom. Let's use the Bible, the wisdom, the experiences to fix what we need to fix and better ourselves so that we can abound and grow and keep growing and move forward. Because that's what it's about. I push forward to the mark. I run, so ye run. I run not just to run, not as one that beats the air. You're supposed to be running forward. Read on.
After the tradition of men.
Go ahead.
After the rudiments of the world.
Right?
And not after Yahushua.
So we got to be careful, man, that the things that we do in secret in your households, the things that you do out in the world, you got to remember, And you always got to back it up and say, is this after what Christ would want? Or is this after the way I feel, the way I think, the things that I want to do? The way you deal, man, is it the way Christ would deal? The way you deal with your husband? The way you deal with your wife? If Christ had a wife that was written, it was written in the Bible, would Christ deal with his wife the way you deal with yours? Because we see how Christ dealt with all manner of people, men, woman, and child. So it's easy to say, what is it, WJCC, what would Jesus do? That's the bumper sticker, right? You got to let that flash in your head and say, damn, what would Jesus do in this situation, in that situation? How would he deal with this woman, that man? That should always be the thought. But with that, we're going to end it right there. Like I said, if you got questions, bring them back tomorrow. We went over the time. Are there any questions on the top? Nope. All right. Well, definitely want to thank everybody for joining us. Thank y'all for everybody online. Oh, did we go offline? Are we back on?
We went off.
Oh, okay. Thanks for everybody online for joining us. Again, we got the school down in Trinidad. We got brothers down there. If you got any donations, anything you want to donate, books, clothes, cars, canned goods, computers. We need a computer. We need a camera so we can broadcast live from Trinidad. All right. We got everything set up. We just need a camera so we can record and broadcast. Anything that y'all want to donate, it's appreciated. Again, we got the Wells Fargo account. If you want to monetary donations, that number is 101-580-6167. We also got the Google Wallet under isbhpk@gmail.com. All right. Got the brothers at the Arizona Fair. If anybody's out in Arizona, or you got some people out there and they like to wear oils and natural products, we're out there at the Arizona Fair until Sunday. It's the last day. All right. But with that, we definitely want to thank y'all for joining us. I'm gonna say shalom. Shalom.